jeans song. Do you remember it?
Uh-huh.
She got them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Whole club was looking at her. She hit the flow. Next thing you know, shorty got low, low, low. Who did that? Is it Nelly? I think it was Nelly. I'm gonna guess Nelly. I'm gonna take a stab at it and say that shit was Nelly. Pretty sure.
Low by Flo Rida.
Flo Rida, see? I was wrong.
You probably wouldn't have guessed the song name either.
Apple bottom jeans.
No, the song's name is Low.
Oh, it's Low?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. They say Low like 9 times or 8 times in a row every verse. I didn't know that was Flo Rida. I thought that was Nelly. Flo Rida, dude. The whole club looking at her. She hit the flow. Next thing you know, shorty got low, 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 low. Them baggy sweatpants and the Reebok with the straps make me wanna get that big booty a smack. I don't know why he likes the baggy sweatpants, but
Hey, you've seen that baggy sweatpants can show off.
that's true. Girl baggy sweatpants are only baggy like in the legs, but the ass is like pow pow. And then shorty gets low, you know what I mean? And then it's over. Like you just see the apple bottom jeans, but then shorty gets low. She drops it to the flow. And that's it. That's when you're sold. That's when you can't resist. That's how I understand it. Well, top of the morning to you, Highdeology. Oh my goodness.
Found the balance. Found the balance.
The balance?
Hit it without coughing.
Oh yeah. She hit the flow. Next thing you know, she was being examined by a forensic team. I don't remember that lyric. I don't think that's how the song goes. But you could redo it, you know. She hit the flow. I ran out the door. I shot that ho, 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 ho. The violent version. T-Pain? Wasn't he like one of the first singer type rappers? Like the super like auto-tune guys? Oh my goodness, I'm about to blow my nose again. Are you objectifying women with that song? Yes. Just like women objectify men in their songs. Everybody gets objectified. Tennessee Pain. Yeah, he can actually sing super well. I was surprised because auto-tune was his signature. It's so weird. I sold him a laptop when I worked at Fry's. I didn't know who he was when I sold it to him. He sold T-Pain a laptop. That's cool. Maybe he used that to make some bangers on, you know? You might have handled and sold the laptop from whence. Oh, thank you, baby. The actual tissues. Look at this. Grown-up shit. I think I'm going to have to start a ritual where I blow my nose really good, just like
Right before.
every morning or right before a Highdeology or some shit, because this shit is like... Oh my goodness. Alright, one tissue down.
Burn the biohazard.
Yep. Okay. Oh, that feels so much better. Booger check.
Not that I can see.
Okay, you're kind of squinting into the sun though. Hopefully not. All right, I think we're booger free. Believe we are booger free. How's Yakuza 7? It's pretty funny. Like, it's a pretty traditional, like, RPG style game, but it's definitely, like, in a modern setting with a pretty big sense of humor attached to it. A very Japanese sense of humor.
A lot of hooker politics, too.
Yeah, a lot of hooker politics. Like, the story, as I can tell right now, is basically nothing but hooker politics. At least where I'm at right now. But that's cool.
You gotta defend the hookers from the Karens and Kevins.
Yeah, you're defending the hookers from people who are protesting prostitution, and then there's a dude that you think is mistreating his hookers, but you find out he just, you know, he just has a heart of gold because he's trying to take care of them. It's like the pimps are like good guys in this game, and the people that are against prostitution are like bad guys. Had a side quest in it where, like, heard a baby crying and you'd run all over town to get formula, and then you go up and you find out it's a bunch of, like, adult babies. Yakuza, a whole Yakuza clan that's adult babies. So you didn't hear a baby crying, you heard the cries of the adult babies that were being dommed upstairs in the house. And then you meet them, and then you can, and then they offer you some milk in a bottle, and you can drink it, and it gives you a stat boost. I don't know.
So you can summon them too, because you
oh yeah, that's right. After you do that side quest, you can summon him. It's pretty cool. I've got Skyrim main menu on in the background. Metal Viking Paul. Oh. So it's pretty cool. Good morning to you, Missy. The capybaras are capybaraing, you know.
I don't see them much because we give them so much space.
I know, they've got so much land to live on, they only come around when I'm not doing Highdeologies. It's the way it is, you know. When we finding baby, there are milk nearby. Oh, God. You're having a lot of pain today. I'm sorry to hear that. I deal with that quite often myself. Oh yeah, the Siamese cats from Aristocrats.
Siamese cats.
Yeah. We are Siamese, if you please. Don't. We are Siamese, if you don't please. Do. Racist stereotypes.
Or like the little chopstick piano.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely are a little bit racist.
My favorite one, though.
Well, everybody wants to be a cat is true.
Yeah.
So the Aristocrats, like the main theme of the Aristocrats, that pretty much cats have it the best out of everybody, is true. So you can't take that away from it, racist shit notwithstanding, you know. I'm just glad that there wasn't like an African cat, you know what I mean? Like racism against Asians sucks, but they seem to take it better, you know what I mean? Like they don't, it's not as hurtful to them, I think. Paul, do you watch The Mandalorian? No, I don't. Glad you like it. All Yakuza games are funny like that and have crime drama stories, but 7 adds RPG elements. Yeah, I think that's why I got the game. Because, like, I've seen the Yakuza games before, and they're basically like GTA games, but with a Japanese humor flair instead of an American humor flair, which is cool, but I've never really played any of them for that reason, because I'm just like, eh. But when I saw this one was like a full-blown RPG style game, I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. I got to try this out. Lady and the Tramp had the 2. Aristocats only had the 1. Oh, really? It was Lady and the Tramp that had the 2 Siamese?
Oh, yeah, because the Siamese were, like, in the basket in the house. But the Siamese and Aristocats were the cool chopstick playing cats.
You're right. Both racist.
Yeah.
But just different.
I mean, the chopsticks one's kind of cooler, honestly.
You're right.
He still looks
Well,
cool.
but he's banging away on that fucking piano like crazy, though.
Yeah.
He's talented. Like, the Siamese cats are just mysterious and oriental,
Yeah.
like the twins. YouTube, the new Lady and Tramp Siamese song. Oh, God, no. No, I don't want to know. They replaced it. Oh, man. The only thing worse than having a movie that has that kind of casual racism in it is like trying to fix it. They made them camp jazz singers. Oh, God. Oh, God. Get a haircut and a real job, you goddamn hippie. Hey, man, peace and love, bro. I can feel a lot of anger inside you, man, but there's nothing but love from me, man. Peace and love, bro. This is how Disney ruins everything. Yes, this is how the entertainment world ends. With a big pair of mouse ears on it.
You got a Missy and a Shabisky.
Dude, Missy Shabisky combo? Holy shit. Now all we need is a pimp monk. Dude, if a pimp monk cruises through here, my phone might catch on fire. I hate being called a hippie. I'm a metalhead. There's a difference. I'm neither, but I get called both. Missy was here earlier. Yeah, she said hello. She might not have stuck around, but she popped by to say hello. Mindy and I had a conversation about that when we were putting up the lights, how Disney sues anyone that even uses a second of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, see? There she is. The crew's all here. The crew is here. Maersk. I used to see those Maersk things that are going by on the train, the Maersk containers on ships in New Orleans Harbor.
So now you know where they go.
Yeah, they end up on trains.
Full circle.
Yeah. I remember when me and TJ went down to New Orleans and the harbor is because Chelsea wanted to go see the Penguins. Chelsea and Ashley. Me and him weren't really interested in paying the like $180 meet the Penguins for 2 hours fee. So they went in and did that. And me and him just kind of sat and people watched by the pier and smoked. And like I saw one of them big, gigantic, I'd only seen them in movies up until then. Those big cargo ships that are just like a floating city, basically. And they were piled with those Maersk containers. Just
I saw a little bit when I was in Indiana because I was right on the Ohio, which turns into the Mississippi.
Yeah. So you were right on the major, like, mid-country shipping lane. I never seen shit like that before. So that was cool to watch. I watched one of them just kind of go by, and one of them being unloaded at the harbor, which was really neat. Being put on trucks or trains. One of those that went by just now could have came off a ship in New Orleans Harbor. It's crazy. Commerce is crazy. These streams give me such a strong feeling of calm. I love it. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that it radiates from me to the stream because I feel very calm. I'm moving to a legal state for the first time. Any suggestions on brands of vape carts? My wife doesn't want me smoking all day, every day. If you're moving to a legal state, you're probably better off because I don't know which legal state you're moving to, and each legal state has their own brands. Sometimes brands are shared. Like there's a lot of travel between the Pacific Northwest states and California. Like a lot of the brands that you'll find in Oregon and Washington are California brands, and vice versa. A lot of the brands that you'll find in California could have been grown or originated in Oregon, Washington, and sometimes even Colorado. So there is some share, but every state has its own top brands. So what I would do is when you get to the legal state, I would head to a smoke shop and or call your delivery service and ask them that question. Like ask them what your top shelf carts are. Because carts come in, different prices, and the top shelf ones are really going to be the high purity carts that are going to be better for you to be vaping on. Now, I got to be honest with you. For me, I got when we first arrived here, I got some carts and I got some flour, and I've vaped carts before, and I got to tell you, I cough harder and more often and more uncomfortably on the carts than I do on flour. So you might want to experiment a little bit, even when I take just like little toots of the carts. But I got the top shelf like 96% THC carts or 90% THC carts or whatever it is. So those are going to be spicy as fuck.
Is it the terpenes that are spicy?
It's that and just the concentrated nature of it. You're vaporizing super concentrated THC, and I don't know, like some people cough pretty hard on those too, and they can dry out your throat. Where are you living now, Paul? In undisclosed bunker, in the middle of nowhere. Where are you living now?
We just got to get you an Amazon wish list because everyone keeps trying to send you stuff.
Yeah, I know what to wish for on my wish list. Have you ever asked your bitch for other bitches? Oh, Kanye. Yeah, I want to send you guys a wedding present. It's very nice of you guys. But I would say, in general, if you want to get us a wedding present, pick a really nice, like, vet a charity and give a little donation or something.
Like foster a kitten or something.
Yeah, foster a kitten or find a no-kill shelter in your area, or vet a charity that feeds the homeless or something. Make sure you vet it, because some charities are shady as fuck, but I'm trying to remember what the name is of that place that ranks the charities and gives them...
I don't remember that, but I do know, like, for, like, feeding people, probably Feeding America is probably the best.
Well, also you could look at your local food bank too, because that's like those types of areas really benefit from your donation, and you get to see a benefit to not necessarily directly, but the benefit that's given is given to your local community.
I think like for like food banks like that, you can volunteer to like sort the donations too.
Yeah. No, I used to volunteer at a food bank back when I lived in California, and like right around the holidays, they really need people to go in there and because they send food to a lot of families during the holidays that don't have the money to do a turkey dinner or a Christmas dinner. And so they need people to just pack the boxes and stuff. I'm donating $400 now. That's nice, dude. That's very cool of you. Yeah, donate to Trump. Yeah, in my name. Very cool, Shabisky. No, I mean, yeah. Those of you that want to get me stuff, like, I really appreciate it. But to be quite honest with you, like, I'm not rich, but I make enough money to get the things that I want, and so I would really rather, like, you want to do something nice for me, do something nice for everybody, you know. Find a good charity that takes care of animals or homeless people. Where's Dinor?
I brought him in.
Oh, you put him in? Okay.
He was being chilly willy.
Okay. The pro asbestos lobby, yeah.
Oh, that's sweet, Missy.
What?
Naming her new kitten after us.
What's she naming the kitty? Emiliego? Pamelia? Whoa. I feel like Paul's at the age where he doesn't really want a whole lot, and if he does want it, he'll get it himself. I mean, I'm not a big materialist. Neither is Amelia. We like to have cute little things. I'm not saying we never buy anything, but it's just like we don't. Like, I'm not lusting after a fucking new TV all the time. I'm not the guy that's gonna buy a bunch of stuff for his house and a bunch of little decorative furniture and lamps and shit. Like, I'm
already bad enough as it is. We have this blender that we've never touched.
I know. I've got a really nice blender that I don't think I've ever used. You know, that, like, so that is kind of true. I'm not a rich dude, but if I see that at the store and I like, buy that at the store if I like it, wait a minute, how does it go? There's a Post Malone line for everything. I ain't rich yet, but you know I ain't broke. So if I see it, I like it, buy that at the store. I'm with some white girls and they loving the coke. That last part doesn't really apply to me, but the first two lines do. I'm not with any white girls that love the coca. But I ain't rich yet, but you know I ain't broke. And if I see something I like at the store, I can probably get it if I want it. I just don't really want many things at the store.
We're saying that you got nose hairs, but I think it's just your mustache going into.
Oh, I do have nose hairs. Well, they're seeing the shine on my nose hairs. I'm sorry, I'm a human being and hair grows out of my nose. You know what I mean? They're not super long, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Some of that might be just a little bit of booger cling. I'll try and clean it up for you guys. You got to kind of like get up in your nostrils, unfortunately, when you blow your nose sometimes. Because you get a little boogie cling to the nose hairs. But yeah, I mean, with the sun shining like this, you guys are just gonna have to see the nose hairs. Sorry. Hair grows out of my nose. Hair grows out of my nose. If I were to get Paul something, it would be like an artifact or a piece of trippy art. I probably wouldn't want that either, dude. Like, maybe the trippy art, but even that, like, especially right now in our lives, like, Amelia and I know we're probably going to be moving a couple more times. At least one more time. Probably a couple more times. And it's like, we don't want to get so much shit that it's hard for us to move. Like, this last move, we bought whatever the mid-range U-Haul is, right? The mid-size U-Haul. And it was packed pretty full back to front, but it still had tons of room to shit.
2 feet of
Right, so it was about I'd say 3/4 packed, and that was out of our 3-bedroom apartment. A 3/4 packed 15, wasn't it a 15-foot truck? 15-foot U-Haul, 3/4 packed is about how much stuff we've got. Now we got a little more now because we rented a house and we had to get washing machine, dryer, and fridge, because the rental that we're in now had none of those things. So I had to get those. So now we've got those that we've either got to donate to someone down here when we move or move with us. But yeah, you know, I like to keep it light. right now, and I just, piling up with a bunch of stuff and knickknacks. Like I used to be kind of have hoarder tendencies. I think I do have kind of. Would you say that, babe? Do you think I have like minor hoarder tendencies?
I mean, I think with like little sentimental things,
Yeah.
you keep a lot of those, but never take them out.
Right. Like, well, but isn't that kind of like a hoarder tendency? Like a
I mean,
minor. Because
It's
that's
it's
what
just
they
kind of
do.
like,
They
kind of like the beginning. Like that's kind of probably how they look at a lot of their stuff. They never take it out.
they
never use
attach
it.
sentiment to something, but
Yeah.
it's so buried in a pile of shit that they
Yeah.
forgot they even have it. And then when they take it out to go through their crap, they don't want to throw it away, even though they haven't seen it in 2 years. I'm very like that. I don't have a ton of that type of stuff, but I've got a bunch of little knickknacks and stuff that have traveled with me everywhere. A lot of which I like. You put some stuff up on the mantelpiece that I haven't looked at since I was a 16-year-old living in my mom's house.
Yeah.
That stuff got sent to me after the divorce. It was in a box at my old house up in the attic. And it's a bunch of little pewter figurines and stuff that I had as a 16-year-old that I probably haven't even really looked at since then. Crazy shit. So, I've got like a little handful of knickknacks and special things to me. But I radically downsized the amount of crap that I have when I got divorced. And then when I was sent boxes and boxes of stuff that was mine after the divorce, I went through that stuff and I went through it with a machete. I was like, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. I threw away some stuff that I had sentiment for, but I knew was going to end up like just never.
I'm glad I found your pewter dragons.
Those are, yeah, they are cool. And my great aunt was a hoarder. Yeah, see, I don't have the newspaper thing. I know that's a very common thing amongst hoarders, is like they get the newspaper and then they can't bring themselves to even throw that away because they read some story in it they think they might want to read again. I'm not that bad. My mom's a little worse than me. She calls it being a pack rat.
Yeah.
And I think there probably is a difference between being a pack rat and a hoarder, right? Because you've seen my mom's house. She's definitely not a hoarder. Like a hoarder is, like for me, you become a hoarder when your tendencies to collect things and attach sentiment to things starts to impede your ability to get around your house and shit.
Like hoarding's more adding more, and pack rats I think is more throwing away less.
Right. So my mom calls herself a pack rat, but you've seen her house. It's definitely not. She's not a hoarder, but she calls herself a pack rat. And she says that when I was a teenager, I was a pack rat too. And I think I was a pack rat like for most of my 20s and stuff. Well, I couldn't really be in my early 20s because I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything to pack rat, I had like from about age 20 to I'd say about age 24, 25. You could have packed everything I owned into my car, which was a little car.
I mean, my dad's fucking doing a train car.
Yeah.
You don't have anything.
Your dad is like my spirit animal, dude. Your dad is the epitome of the like minimalist.
Yeah.
Because I move. You know what I mean? Your dad, like.
He has one bag.
Right.
His electric synthesizer or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he chooses that because he moves so much, because he's such a rambling person that it's just like, man, I'm not going to weigh myself down with this stuff. A hoarder is the pathological stage of pack ratitude. Being a pack rat is less about the stuff, more about the emotion attached to it, while hoarding is primarily about building up walls. Yeah. I mean, emotion is at the center of hoarding, though, too. It's some emotional gap that's being filled by the presence of all these things. It's like not being able to let go of your past. It's not being able to let go of these memories or these things that you've over-attached sentiment to. And so that's why I say, like, pack rat and hoarder, they're in the same wheelhouse. It's just, I think that a hoarder is someone that takes it to extreme. That's why I always say that, like, if it starts to impinge upon your living situation, like you have a room now that you can't use because it's filled with crap that you never look at, you're a hoarder probably.
I mean, it's gotten so bad that, like, You can't even get to the toilet in there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't get to the toilet. You can't. Or there's like a bathroom you can't use because it's piled up, or a hallway you don't go down anymore because the room's at the end. You know what I mean? Those are signs of being a hoarder. A pack rat usually just has a bunch of crap up in their attic, or off in one closet somewhere. You know what I mean? That's the kind of person I am. Like, we went through. You remember when we went through my tech closet in my office at the old place? Yeah. All the crap we found in there that I had just like, I might need this. I mean, and we were just like throwing shit away like crazy. I was like, I don't even know why I saved that. I don't know what this even goes to. Get rid of that. Dump this. Dump that.
I think everyone has at least one cord that they don't know what it goes to.
Oh yeah, I've got a bunch. I've got a whole drawer full of cords where it's just like I can try some different shit. When I need a weird cord, I kind of like that though. I think that's good pack rattery. Because you never know, dude. You lose a cord or something, and then you go through my rat's nest of weird cords, and you go, oh, shit, especially Paul has one.
Cricket ate like 2 of your chargers.
Oh, my God. He's eating the one that is here now, too. I can only plug it in one way now. So I got to get a new one of them. Maybe I'll get that indestructible one that Facebook tried to sell me the other night.
Yours is about ready to go anyway, so you'll get one of that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm due for a phone replacement. That is true. I have a cable box. That's basically what I have. Just the different kind of USB cables. I think there's one of each in there. USB-A, B-C, or whatever the fuck it is, and micro. And I've got a lot of power, like a few power cables with the different 2-prong, 3-prong ends. And then just some general like old cableage, but it's not like a giant closet. I'm telling you, Pranav, dude, you might be surprised at what you find in there, because I had a big like see the place that we were living in, the last apartment that we were living in was kind of designed, I think, to be a multifamily doesn't sound right, but like a multi-person, like roommate style living. All the doors had locks on them so that people could have privacy. All the closets were big walk-in closets, so there was a master bedroom, but the other
so close, it didn't even matter.
Right, the other bedrooms shared a bathroom but had locks on the doors and walk-in closets. And so it was like I had a walk-in closet in the bedroom that I was using for my studio. And in there, I piled extra stuff for around the house that I didn't want to get out of boxes because there was no need. Extra tech stuff and sentimental stuff. All went kind of, and paperwork and shit. All got crammed into that closet. And when we were going through it, it was kind of insane. It was kind of insane. As a woodworker, I'm a sucker for antique tools. Yeah. See, I don't really collect anything like that. Like, I don't, unless I'm missing something. You've been around me long enough to know. Like, is there any, like, little thing where I'm just like, ooh, I see one and I have to get it?
Really?
No. I definitely don't have a big collection of one kind of thing. Like, I guess video games, maybe.
Yeah.
Those count, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're digital, but they still...
Right, they count. I guess if I'm like that, I am kind of a hoarder of video games. I'll see a game that has an interesting concept, and I'll sit on it for like 2 years and wait for it to go on sale for $5, and then I'll be like, and buy it. But
no, it's not even wishlist hoarding. Look, how many games have you not installed on Steam?
Oh my God, I don't even want to know. But that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of those though came from the Humble bundles that I bought way back in the day.
Not all of them.
Not all of them though. You're right about that. Yeah, I buy games on Steam and I never play them. Dude, I'm so patient on Steam. I love Steam because it makes me feel like I'm getting, like, this is the type of frugal that I am. I look at a brand new game, right? And very rarely I will buy a brand new game. Like I bought, what's the brand? I bought Yakuza and it's a brand new game. I bought,
Death Stranding was new.
Death Stranding was new. No. It wasn't. I
thought it had just gotten ported to the PC though.
No.
No? Okay.
I bought that on sale. I bought Death Stranding, I think $29.
Okay.
or $39 or something on a sale. It had been out for a while.
Probably
Not-
the worst one we did was Outer Worlds, brand new.
Oh yeah, Outer Worlds brand new on the. Well, we did that on the PS4. That was just like, I just wanted to have something that we could sit and play together on the couch and shit. It's a good game. Like, let's not poop on the Outer Worlds too hard. It was fun.
It
for
wasn't their best.
It just wasn't finished.
Yeah.
It was just an unfinished game straight out, which is sad. But I've gotten 2 games this year only: Doom Eternal and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Hey. I picked up Doom Eternal during the fall sale for like, I think it was $20 or something. So I've got that, but yeah, I haven't even played it yet.
Oh, there's one other thing you collect. A
What?
bunch of CDs that, like the old Memorex discs for DVDs.
Do I have a bunch?
Yeah.
Like just a what? Like the blank ones to burn
a couple
things
of blank
to?
ones to burn. Yeah.
I have some CDs, but those might have shit on them.
Yeah.
Like I have an old podcast called the
Yeah.
Ego and Fro Show.
No, and I didn't like toss them or nothing.
Yeah.
That's like one other thing you.
Yeah, no.
collect is the
I used to have a
Memorex.
bunch of CDs, but what I have left now is not. I might have a little stack of like CD burner, but we can throw those away if they're just blanks. I'm never gonna use those again. But yeah, dude, I have like some of my old CDs, but most of my old CDs are gone. I used to have tons of fucking CDs. You used to have a CD player in your car and shit before like the whole aux cable shit started, iPod thing.
Probably the dumbest like intermediate stage was like the little like DVD players you could carry with you, where like the slightest movement made them break.
Yeah. Those sucked. The original, like I remember I got a Discman,
Yeah.
and those you had to be real careful with them. Like they were marketed as like the same thing as a Walkman, but Walkmans were used by like joggers and shit. You couldn't be no fucking jogger with a Discman. That shit would just be like it's skipping all over the place. Like I used to have to hold it in my lap a certain way when I was on the bus because the bus bouncing would make it skip. Not a good look. Not a great piece of kit, but still kind of cool. Kind of still wish I had it. I bet my mom has it somewhere. No, you know what the thing is? My mom back in the day used to have a lot of yard sales.
I see.
I'd be willing to bet that's something that went out on a yard sale. She didn't have
Nothing
it.
sentimental, but something.
It was sentimental to me,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit, but to her, it's just like some old PJ thing. Put it in the, you know what I mean? She's sentimental about like the art. She has like every picture I drew her from age like 1 to whatever. She has every coloring book I ever colored in. She has every piece of homework that I ever brought home that had a nice note from the teacher. You know how you make little projects for your mom in the holidays? Like the little turkeys and the little Santa Clauses. Dude, I'll have her take some pictures of it and send them to me. She's got them still.
Yeah.
They look hideous and kind of creepy now. Like I made her like a crepe paper Santa
Yeah.
with a cotton ball beard.
Yeah.
Dude, cotton balls have fallen off.
Probably yellow.
He's got a patchy, stringy, yellowy kind of cotton ball beard now. I think one of his eyes, the crepe paper eyeball fell off, but she keeps it anyway. She tacks that fucking thing up every Christmas. I made it when I was like 5. So that's the type of shit my mom keeps. She has boxes and boxes and it's going to be fun to go through when we get to go visit her one of these days. Because she tells me next time you visit, you got to go through these boxes and tell me what I can throw away and what I can't. She's always threatening me with that shit. She's got a bunch of shit in her attic that she won't throw away because she doesn't know if I want it or not. I can guarantee you most of it is like old homework and like...
She pushes it onto you. She doesn't
Yeah.
admit her own indecisiveness. So she's like, I'm just doing it 'cause PJ's indecisive.
Right. I'm keeping this stuff because I don't know if you want it. And I'm like, Mom, I've lived like 35 years and not been aware of its existence. I probably don't want it. You know what I mean? Really. But but it might be kind of cool to go through it. You're going to go hang out with Mindy and the kids for a bit. All right, dude. Well, tell them I said what up. Give high fives to the kids. Hand turkeys. Yeah. She's got my hand turkeys. She's got all my little, like, art projects. There's some that just wouldn't fly now.
Yeah.
Like I made her an Indian
Yeah.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That was a whole ass project we did in school where it was like a crepe paper brown Indian and we had real feathers for his headdress, and she still has that. She hangs that up at Thanksgiving time.
And next Thanksgiving, we just gotta get her a little tipsy and just run through the house.
Oh my God, she'd kill us. We wouldn't leave that house. She's got a gun or two, so she'd kill us. Paul, do you eat summer sausage? I'm not even really sure what summer sausage is, so I'm going to say no. I probably would try some summer sausage, but I've never eaten anything that I recall being called summer sausage. Man, you remind me of Orson Welles. Ah! The French champagne. There's a new champagne made in that very self-same tradition by a vintner named Paul Masson. He uses the old French techniques to create a wine not just for the connoisseur, but for every table. Ah! Ah, the French champagne. There's a new champagne by Paul Masson. I'm always on my mark. Move your camera, yep. Good Orson Welles quote there. Ah! I love that noise that he makes. Because you could tell, like, in the script that he had, it said AH exclamation point. Like, ah, the French champagne. That's what they were hoping for. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, the French champagne. He's so fucking great. Oh, man, he was too good. He was too good for this world. There's a new champagne by Paul Masson. John Candy's Orson Welles was dead on balls. You could go look it up on YouTube. I remember seeing it back in the day. He did a fucking really fantastic Orson Welles impersonation. Was it John Candy? Or am I thinking of somebody? I think it was. I think you're right. I think it was John Candy. Ah! Don't you think the long hair is annoying to deal with? At times, yeah, it's kind of annoying, but it's gotten long enough now to where, unless it's really windy, it stays out of my face. When it starts to get like hot around my neck and stuff, I know how to put it up in a ponytail and a bun and stuff on my own. It's real easy. Really, like, yeah, it's more annoying to deal with than having really short hair as a guy or no hair. But I like the way I look with it. Like, so I keep it, you know, and I've kind of come to like some of the parts of taking care of it and shit. Like right now, I'm glad I have it because it's like having a big ear warmer, like all built in. Like my ears, even though I'm sitting here next to my fire pit, and even though the sun's up, my ears would be really, really way cold right now, but they're not. My nose is colder than shit. I wish I had a beard that I could flip. Oh, can I? Drying my hair, dude, I don't even fuck with it. I wring it out. I get as much water out of it by wringing it out in the shower that I can, and then I put it up, and it stays pretty wet all day, but at the end of the day I let it down, and then it dries pretty quick on its own after that. Like, it mostly dries during the day when I have it up and out of the way and I don't have to deal with it. And then I'll, like, when I'm done with my day, I'll take it down, and it'll be all fucking curly and weird and a little bit damp, but then it dries really quick after that. Put it in a towel and wrap it up like a turban. Yeah, I see Amelia do that after she showers and washes her hair. She's got really long hair. But I don't know. I don't know. I just don't bother with it, I guess. I pat it dry a little bit with a towel too, yeah. But I have to be careful, man, because getting it tangly, my hair gets so fucking tangly. And so that's the hardest part, I think, for me, is brushing it out and shit. So I try and keep it from getting tangly as fuck. I need some products and shit is what I need. It's like Amelia doesn't really deal with it. She's got a type of hair where, like, she gets tangles and shit, but she doesn't get tangles like I do. I've got like a wave to my hair that she doesn't have. She's got very long, straight, very straight hair, and I've got, my hair looks straight, but look here at the bottom, like it's got a curl to it, and this is all tangle shit. You know what I mean? All tangle bait. You would look so much younger without the beard. I don't really care about looking younger though, bro. That's the thing. I don't really care what other people think of the way I look. I like the way I look when I look at myself in the mirror, when I have to look at myself for my job. And that's what matters to me more. I got to keep mine fairly short. Anything more, I get mullet sprouts and Farrah Fawcett waves on the front. I haven't ventured beyond that. Difficult. Yeah, that is the hard part. It's like if you're going to, like, I grew this hair out from completely shaven. So if you go, there's a Cinema for Cynics video where TJ shaves my head. That was the last haircut that I got. You can go look at it. When you grow your hair out from that stage, there's a insanely mulletous stage that you've got to go through. There's a mulletudinous stage. And you just got to push through the multitude. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, you got to just mullet it up. Like, if you guys look back towards the beginning, like, look towards, like, the middle and end of year 1 of DFF. I wore a lot of hats. I still wear a lot of hats. But you guys don't see me in beanies and shit all that much anymore. And the reason for that is because my hair finally grew out to where it wasn't a mullet. So a hat is your friend during the mullet stage, trust me. Grew yours out from a pixie cut, had coconut head for a while, yeah. I could see that. Do you get a bunch of hair in your carpet? Yeah, I shed like a dog, but I don't have carpets. It's all hardwood in my house, so. And the last place I had very few carpets. Most of it was hardwood place, so I have to sweep hairballs up every once in a while, but. And it clogs up drains and shit. I think that's probably the worst of it, is when I shower. Like I said, I shed like a dog, so all that hair ends up building up in the drains and shit. Yeah, well, what that is, I actually looked it up because I have the same thing. I have these little hairs. I'll try and find one for you guys. Like, look at these right here. These right here. That's as long as that hair is. Okay? It's always coming out. And that's just breakage. The front of your hair gets the most damage because if you have long hair, you're always sweeping it out of your face and you're always doing that shit, and it's pulling out little hairs and breaking little hairs. And so you get these little hairs all over your head, really, but you really only notice the ones here because they end up in your fucking face. And there's really no answer for that if you're going to have long hair. It's just going to happen to you. You're going to have uneven kind of length sometimes. Like you can see, I got that going on there. Just is what it is, bro. You got to deal with it. I'm sure there's some products that can minimize that shit, but I don't know. I kind of like the wild, goes every which way kind of look, so it doesn't matter to me. Right. Your hair sheds naturally, which happens. That's the hair that's coming out of my head as I'm showering and shit that I was talking about is all hair that just kind of like finally reached its terminal length and fell out, and then a new hair starts to grow in that follicle, and it's shorter than everything on your head. So there's just no way to keep everything super uniform. There's ways to make it look super uniform with hair products and all that shit. Really, the only hair product that I think I need more than anything is like a tangle product, like some kind of leave-in conditioner that I can put in my hair after I get out of the shower so I can brush it out and not rip out a bunch of hair out of my head with the brush, trying to get tangles. Mute that bozo is back, dude. One of my favorite trollish characters from around here. Looks like Jessica appreciates him as well. Mute that bozo. I have it real bad on the sides of my head. There's always little bits of floof. Yeah. Well, that happens too, like in a messy bun. Like if you wanted to make that look slick, like when you see a lady that has a real slick bun, and it's very slick, they've used like, and correct me if I'm wrong, mousse or hairspray or some kind of agent to keep, once they get it up in the bun, they smooth it down with some kind of slicking agent that'll harden up a little bit. Well, they slick their whole hair before, but they put something there to keep the, like if they want that bun to hold all day, they put something on it to keep the flyaways. Bobby pins as well, yeah. They'll put a bobby pin in the front for the shorter hairs to keep it locked in place, or whatever it is. They got their tricks. But I'm telling you, if they did the same thing that I do, or that you probably do if you're a dude, and put their hair up in a messy bun, they'd have the flyaways on the side. I don't mind them. Like, I think it looks kind of cool. To be honest with you, I like the messy look of it. But yeah, gel or oil or whatever it is, or a hairspray. I know a lot of ladies use like a hair, or they used to. Maybe that's fallen out of style, but there's some kind of like agent that you put in your hair that'll keep those flyaways kind of glued down a little bit on your head. Put my hair in a neat bun and just use water to pin down flyaways always. Hey, that's cool. Different kinds of hair are different too. Like certain people.
Yours wouldn't stay.
Mine is never gonna stay because it's super thick and it's curly, as like it's got a wave to it, like I said. So it's very like. But your hair, you've got a very straight hair that's just naturally very straight. And so you would probably, like when you put your hair up in a bun, you don't really need to, like you probably slick it down with a little water and that's it. You go on about your business. Different strokes for different folks, man. You got to learn how to pilot your own hair if you're gonna have long hair, you know. And you got to be cool with the way it looks sometimes, because sometimes like your hair's just not gonna do exactly what you want it to do if you have my type of hair, and you're not a fucking like stylist, you know. If I had a stylist, they could probably make me look however I wanted to look. But I've come to peace with the messiness of my hair, and I really like it. The L'Oreal sponsorship. I know, dude. Pick up the phone, L'Oreal.
No, it's Pantene.
Pantene. Oh, yeah. Pantene Pro V. Pick up the phone. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. I'm willing to go there, dude. Dignity for sale. Dignity for sale. I use Shea moisture products. Shea? Oh, like shea butter? Is that a thing?
That's a brand.
Shea? Oh. Oh. Grab your dick and double click for porn, porn, porn. The internet is for porn. The internet is for porn. I guess I'll take you guys with me so I can blather. Doesn't really hurt anything. Put you in my pocket, though, I think, instead of trying to carry you with the wood. I'm going to put you in my pocket. Put you in my pocket, see? Yeah. There's like a little pass-through here. So I've gotten down to the bottom of this wood pile, but there's a little pass-through I can go through. Now I got to put you guys in my pocket. Hopefully you can still hear me. If you can't, oh well. Yeah, there's a lot of more little small twigs, not twigs, but smaller branch logs that I'm looking for, because I don't want to start a huge roaring fire right now. There's no point. I just want to kind of get it going again. So I'm going to get a bunch of these bad boys gathered up and get this fire roaring again for a little bit. I'm going to grab a piece of this too. This stuff is so good. Bark, very good for kindling, by the way. Should you need to kindle a fire, bark makes a good fire starter, a good like medium kindling. You need your fine kindling too to really get it going. So I'm gonna go get some of that as well. But I don't wanna, like I said, by the way, I'll pull you out of my pocket and see if you can hear me at all. Can you guys hear me at all when you're in my pocket or no? Or is it just like rustle, rustle, loud and clear? Cool. That works then. That'll be the new normal then. I'll start stuffing you guys in, wow, there's an old box. Kind of an old cardboard box out here that I could rip up for kindling. I'm gonna do that because it's just trash. I'm way out. Hadn't seen this over here. Just make sure there's not like a snake living under it or something. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Why the heck not? You always got to make sure there's not a snake or a giant spider living under everything. But yeah, this box ain't doing us no good. Way out on the property. And I didn't even have to pocket you guys. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to chill while I rip this up, but
I need to get you a sled, Dynamore. Dad can load you up.
yeah.
Pull a sled.
There we go. Give it a little encouragement here. A little liquid courage. All right. Whew. Got that lined out. Best angle. You guys like the ceiling angle? Oh. Starting to get a little cold, so I had to one more go round with the fire before I let it burn down till tonight. And then I'll start another one probably. It just seems to be the routine nowadays. Fire in the morning, fire at night. $900 billion stimulus with no direct payments to the people. Guess they should have took that
Offer back in like
offer that Trump made back in October. What was it, 2 trillion or something, or one point?
with checks.
Yeah, with checks. $2 trillion stimulus with checks back in October. Trump said he'd sign it immediately, and the Democrats were like, well, we don't want to let Trump be the one what done it, so no. And now we got Biden incoming, and we get a 900 billion stimulus with no checks. Thanks. Thanks, Democrats. Thanks for your Trump derangement syndrome during a pandemic thanks for your political jockeying too during a pandemic. Didn't want to make Trump look good before the election, so let's keep people fucking sick and wondering whether they're going to be able to pay their bills next month or have a job.
Dude, they've been dangling that carrot for like 8 months.
Motherfuckers. 2 trillion with checks became 900 billion with no checks. Whoop-de-dildo doo-dah day. Why, hello there, Dakota Crow. Thank you for the $5 and the little sticker. I love those sticker things. I turned them on. It's a cool way for people that don't want to type out a whole ass shit to give you a quick little howdy, stranger. Maybe I should just make it so all of you have to chat with those. You can only convey emotion through paid emojis. Paul, I just got into work. Capitalism is the big suck. Oh, sorry, Gorilla. Sorry to hear that, bruh. Pretty cool that neither Schumer or Pelosi stepped down, too. Oh, yeah. It's very cool.
She got reelected like she always fucking does.
Of course.
I'm sure Dianne Feinstein will too.
Dianne Feinstein's 89-year-old ass. All these fucking ancient fucking crones and cronies in the fucking halls of power, man. Just ridiculous. Bunch of sold out corporate shits. Ugh. Can you blame me for taking a long fucking break from this shit? It's fucking disheartening, man. It's disheartening to live in a political, electoral world where it's just like, man, I gotta settle for this. I gotta settle for this. My side is this. It's just like, ugh. No mo. I'm done. I served my time. Working retail is the worst. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's pretty fucking bad, bro.
No, I'd say customer service is probably above retail.
I mean, retail is customer service.
Not always.
Well, sure. I mean, retail can be backroom stock and yada yada, but let's just, yeah. The CSR, the front-facing customer stuff, is some of the hardest work that you can do. Not just physical labor-wise, but just mental strain-wise, for sure. I'm telling you this as a guy that did it for 8 years. I was a front-facing customer service representative for 8 fucking straight years for Starbucks. And an additional year at Wendy's and an additional year on top of that at Blockbuster. So I put in my fucking decade of customer service and then some and change in my life. And let me tell you, dude, hard work and it takes it right the fuck out of you, dude. It's soul draining. It's brain fucking. It's like, it makes you feel horrible about other people. Like you really start to like, and everybody around you that works with you hates other people too. It creates this like clan mentality where it's like you that work at the store are the only good people on the planet and everybody else out there is just a piece of fucking shit leech.
There was one of my managers that was kind of racist. Like she just took this whole group of immigrants. Like they always leave a mess in the dressing room.
Yeah. It's just like, no, dude, I'm telling you, dude, at every Starbucks that I worked at, and it wasn't constant, and there were certain customers that were outside of that, but there was just this general feeling of like pretty much everybody out there is a fucking cunt looking to fuck up your day. And all you really are trying to do is mitigate that as much as possible by preempting it or pre-preparing for it. And it's true, man. There are just so many people out there that work out their personal feelings via treating people poorly in customer service settings.
I mean, you're kind of in customer service now, honestly.
Not really.
But I mean, just like having people take their shit out on you based on your product.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to do customer service for that, right? So if somebody's got a problem or whatever, that has to be addressed. But it definitely doesn't feel the same. I'll tell you that much right now. There's a different dynamic to being a creator of something and listening to feedback from people, and that every once in a fucking blue moon helping somebody with some kind of technical issue. But usually, like, the way we work is like Patreon doesn't let us do shit. If you have a payment problem or an access problem or something, we can't do shit. We don't own Patreon, but Patreon is usually pretty good at getting back to people and figuring out their problems and shit. So it really doesn't feel the same as standing at a counter and looking these people in the face day after day after day, hundreds of them. That was crazy, man. And crazy making too. It really, it added to my feeling of misanthropy, I think. I worked at a Wendy's, and people do truly treat you like shit for working there. Like, dude, I'm a teenager. This is just weed money for me. And there was always some shit boss that talks down. I mean,
It's not weed money for teenagers only.
I mean, for some teenagers, it's more than just weed money. For some teenagers, it's like supplementing a parent's flagging income. For some teenagers, they are the only income in their family that isn't from a government check.
Or they're in their 30s raising a kid.
Yeah, right. But I just got done telling you I worked at fucking Starbucks for 8 years. That wasn't weed money for me. I lived on it. Like, I buttered my bread on Starbucks money. I fucking paid my rent on Starbucks money. I bought a condo on Starbucks money. I paid my car note on Starbucks money, my insurance on Starbucks money. All that shit. I had all that shit. You know what I mean? And, this was a real-ass fucking thing I had to go do every day. 6 days a week, most weeks. I was there doing something, and 5 days a week I was there on a shift. It's just the way. Manual labor and construction really takes the cake, though. See, I never did construction. I did do some manual labor, and I'm telling you, man, there's an argument between people that are like roughnecks who've worked that kind of I get down there with my hands, I build shit, I mine shit, I operate heavy equipment, I do this, that, and people that work what those types of people consider more cushy jobs as CSRs and shit. And I'm telling you, I've done a little bit of crossover. I've worked hard labor jobs, not for as long as I did customer service, so I don't have as much experience. But I've been a laborer. I've been a day laborer. I've been a hand stacker at a fucking glass plant. I've been a fucking, what they used to call us selectors. But that's a dressed up way for saying trash pickers. So I've been a trash picker on a line in a fucking factory. I drove forklift. So I've done some hard labor shit. And I'm telling you, man, there's an argument to be made for both of them just being equally shit. One of them tears your body down and your mind, honestly, in one way. And one of them tears your body and mind down in another way.
Or valuing jobs with lower mental needs, lower than high functioning jobs. They're not just as hard having your brain turned off all day.
Right. Like it's almost just as destructive to have your brain turned off all day because you're so bored by what you're doing as it is to be faced with hostile people all day and form this nasty feeling about other people because of the customers that you deal with. You know what I mean? It's like pick your poison is how I feel about it, honestly, at the end of the day. Now, once again, I don't have as much experience with one end of that as I do the other, and I never worked construction and shit, so I can't really speak for that. But when it comes to just day labor, hard labor type shit, I've done it. And I'm telling you, it's hard in its own way. It's got its own fucking element to it. And I think the argument is moot. You take a fucking construction worker and plop them down and force them to work at a Starbucks and let them be there for 6 months, I don't think they're going to be feeling like it's a cush job at the end of it. They're going to be sick of it, just like any other fucking person would be sick of it. You take a fucking Starbucks worker and plop them down in a construction site, make them work it for 6 months, they're probably going to fucking think it sucks and that it's really hard and shit. It's like, why create false conflict between castes of workers that need not exist? Everybody is being exploited. The construction worker, the road worker, the day laborer, the hand stacker, the forklift driver, the customer service representative, the sales representative, the floor cash register worker, the stock worker. Everybody's being horse fucked. Well, of course, but think about that though. Why do that? Why maintain a paradigm where the owner class continues to benefit from workers bickering back and forth about who's got it worse? Self-employment really is the way to go these days. All right, bro. Let me tell you, I have a little experience with that too. I've done a little bit of work in my life, and I'm currently self-employed, and I have been for
2015.
Yeah, for about 5 years, 6 years, going on 6 years, and it's every bit as fucking hard.
And it's harder because it's your baby.
Right. I mean, it's fulfilling in a way that working for other people is not. And well, see, I was working for myself, but I was an independent contractor working for other people, right? So I was responsible for my own career, but I attached myself to a show that picked me up and contracted me. Now I own my own business, so I've got a little flavor of both. Self-employed as an independent contractor that gets to pick and choose your work. Self-employed as a business owner. And I'm telling you, it's harder than anything I've ever done. But it's more fulfilling than anything I've ever done. It's not physical labor. I don't have that same Karens coming in yelling at me type of shit. I do deal with shit like that, believe it or not. There's some assholes I have to deal with from time to time, but I work with a couple. No, I'm kidding. They would say the same about me, I'm sure. They have to deal with my ass as much as I have to deal with them. We work well that way. You know, when we disagree, which is relatively rare, honestly, it gets heated and then it gets handled.
Probably the hardest thing is you got to separate friendship from business.
Well, yeah. That's, I mean, especially in a job like this. You're got, like, I'm friends with these dudes. Dinor. Joggers are allowed to jog, Dinor. How do I explain this to you? You see that fence? That is your property. But that guy was on the street. That is not your property. I know, but
it's got to stop somewhere.
Our property ends where that fence is. Anybody on the outside of that is allowed to do whatever they want to do. Unless they pull their junk out or they're pooping. If you see somebody poop in the street, you go bork them away. But if they're just jogging by like that gentleman was, you don't have to bork them. They're not coming for us. He's running away, see? You scared him off.
He just thinks he wins every day.
I won. That guy got out of here. See how fast he ran away? I chased him, Dad. It's like, man, I wish I could just talk to you.
We talked about that last night, like what voices animals would have if they could talk.
Oh my God, yeah. Hideous voices. Yeah, you go make sure. He's good and gone. He's good and gone. You gotta go do a tour of duty. Dinosaurs so fucking weird. Dinor wins, just like G-Man. Yeah. Only Dinor actually wins, because that dude did run away. No joke. He didn't. All pets are weird. That's why I love them. Yeah, that's true.
Probably give him a little shot of them.
Yeah. Look at him. He protect, but he also attack. He's looking. He's like, is that guy coming back? Is that guy coming back or what? Because if he comes back, he got a rude awakening coming. Is he over there? Is he behind me? No, that's Dad. Is he over there? Is he over there? Oh, what's that? He better not come back. He better not come back. That's all I got to say. Fuck around and find out. Guy running by on the street that I own. Fuck around and find out. So fucking weird. How old is he? He will be 5, January.
Yeah, January. That's what was in his file.
Yeah. So it's like early January, like January 2nd or 3rd. He'll be 5. So he's 4 and change right now, hitting his stride. I was listening to Chelsea the Imp's birthday stream yesterday. She really misses Dionor. Everybody that has ever known and loved Dionor and has to be apart from him misses him. He is such a lovable little entity in people's lives, and that was us. One of the sadder things about moving away was knowing that, because TJ fucking loves Dionor too, and so does Scotty. You remember with Scotty when he delivered this chair I'm sitting in?
Yeah, he hadn't seen him in a while. He was pretty prickly normally.
Yeah, Scotty is you know what I mean? Like, Scotty's a big old softy on the inside. He fucking loves animals. And he and Stevie got me this chair for my birthday that I'm sitting in. It's a Biker Dave rocking chair. And they brought it over to deliver it, and they carried it upstairs for me and put it out on my porch. And Dionor, of course, was all over them because he loves Stevie and Scotty. Scotty just scooped him up. Picked him up. He's like, oh my fucking God, Dionor, I love you. Just hugging on him and letting Dionor lick him and go ape shit. Like, anybody that's met Dionor loves him. To know Dionor is to love Dionor. That's just the truth. He's impossible not to. He's too cute and expressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my sister called him a plushie.
Yeah. Amelia's little sister looked at a picture of him and said he looked like a plushie, and he does. He's a big old teddy bear that came to life somehow. It's like a mogwai or some shit from Gremlins. Just a little cute thing. I don't know. I'm interested in the name's beginnings as well. Yeah, just a meme from Drunken Peasants, basically. Head Tripping Every Key is a nice, relaxing album. Paul, thanks for the recommendation. I'm glad you picked it up. Most people probably wouldn't listen to that, but I love that album for sure. You spelled it right. It's dinosaur without the S. That's the best way to remember how to spell Dionor. It's write out dinosaur and then eliminate the S, and you've got his name. That's what we always tell the people at the vet. Like, if we take him to a new vet, or we take him for something like that they need his name, we'll say Dionor, and then they go, oh, how's that spelled? And we say it's dinosaur without the S. And they go, oh, okay. To be quite frank with you, though, like, we call him D more than we call him Dionor. D, or Dirty D, has become his nickname around these parts. Dirty D from the Salton Sea, dude. Dirty, Dusty D. What's up, Dirty D? Yeah, he's a pit bull at heart, isn't that right? You're a Doberman pinscher on the inside, and that's what counts, buddy. Do you ever miss Drunken Peasants? Also, do you ever watch their new content? I don't, not out of any disrespect. It's just weird for me. And I do miss being on the show sometimes. It was a lot of fun. That show was really, like, at its height, it was almost unbelievable that it existed and was allowed to continue existing, you know? But, yeah, I miss that. It was cool. Paul, can I see Dirty D again for just a few seconds? Come here, D. Say hello to Pork Chop the pig. Come here. Oh, look at his cute little necklace that says Dinor. I could show you that side of it. The other side has got our contact information, so I'll have to be careful. But yeah, there he is. There he is. Icy. Yeah, dude, he walks up in the club and people are like, oh, get in my eyes. I feel the same. I miss it, but I don't really watch any of their new stuff. It doesn't feel, it just is what it is. Like, for me, I just don't, like, it feels weird for me to, like, to stay invested in a show that I chose to leave. You know what I mean? Like, as a daily watcher or something. I've seen some things that they've done since. Like, I've seen clips of the show and stuff. I remain friends with Billy, and you know, I consider, you know, I don't know that Ben would call me a friend either, but that not out of disrespect, but I consider Ben to be a business, like an old business associate, and I wish him the best. You know, I got no reason to want to hate what they do or whatever, but it's just, I don't watch anybody. I'll tell you who I watch on YouTube. I occasionally watch a Jimmy Dore video. I watch Kyle Kalinske and a couple of other, like, weird niche guys when I'm just chilling. Like, I watch this guy that eats MREs. He, like, rates MREs. It's like Steve 1984 MRE or some shit. He gets these weird and sometimes very old MREs and opens them and tries them out. And I find that to be interesting. And then, I'm trying to think of, I watch Maddie Matheson. It's like a cook. There's a cooking show called Just a Dash on YouTube. I watch that. I'm trying to think if I watch anything else on YouTube regularly enough to say that I watch it. Nope, I don't think I do. Jim Can't Swim. Okay, there's another one, yeah. I like Jim Can't Swim's, like, crime, psychological profiling documentaries. Oh, here's another dude that I watch. The Lock-Picking Lawyer. He's like a master lockpick that takes these, like, locks that say, like, unpickable, and shows, like, he picks them. He's like, this is not unpickable. Let me just use this, and usually takes him, like, I don't know, under a minute to open a really complex lock. And you're just like, whoa. No, I don't do metal detecting. I don't really watch any podcasts, no. I watch Rogan when he's got a guest that I think is going to be an interesting juxtaposition with him. And that's about it. I watch highlight reels of, like, Cumtown and Chapo sometimes. But, like, the highlight videos, I don't really watch, you know, any podcasts. Here for some more sake, buy some more sake. I will. Thank you, Ricardo. I'll buy some and I'll try to keep it down.
You want a warm up there?
Huh?
A warm up?
Sure. If you don't, are you gonna make some more?
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I
yeah.
adding more coffee to it.
Faux show. Thank you. All right, I was wrong about this fire. It needed to be bigger. I was lazy. I brought little twigs and I needed logs. So we're going to do this again now that I've got some good embers going. And hopefully it'll burn for a little longer because it's too cold. I can't be out here just yet. All right, pocket. Yeah, that's a nice big log there. That's a chonker. And that's a chonker. All right, we need 2 of these big boys. Oh. Yeah, my wrist so cold, my eyes so close. Oh, okay. Rip up some kindling here. Get rid of some cardboard. Who knows how long this shit's been sitting out there. Okay. Fire has been handled. I think. You hear the rap song Marshall made with some garbage rapper. Yeah. Marshall on the beat was good, but I don't know about that Beauregard piece of shit. Paul, watching your transformation back to country Paul from city Paul is fun. I'm from a very rural area. Live in a town village of 200. Cities are fun, but I could never imagine living there. Yeah, I mean, I really have kind of like missed having the privacy and like stuff of, oh, thank you, baby. The privacy of a little piece of land that's your own. Well, I don't own it, but you get my drift. Like, I have renter's rights to it or whatever. So, all right. Ugh.
Sure you don't need help, babe?
I'm sure, baby.
Man it up.
Yep. Just needed a little encouragement. And hopefully not much more cardboard, because I ain't got much more cardboard. Nice hefty roll. There we go. All right. You will cooperate with me, fire. Do you smoke in bed? Jesus Christ, no.
That's called dying in a fire.
Yeah. I really like have never but one period of my life smoked indoors, honestly, in a place. And that was the last apartment I lived in. Because fucking apartment complex, honestly. But yeah, no, I would smoke in my office and shit. Usually with the window open and the fan going, but you still get lingering smoky smoke, you know. But I don't smoke indoors here. The Blackbeard thing? What's the Blackbeard thing?
Beads, maybe?
You best start believing in ghost stories, Missy. You're in one. Oh my God. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean.
I heard something horrible that they might be taking Johnny Depp out of Pirates of the Caribbean, but putting Amber Heard in.
Oh God, Jesus, fuck me. Wow, what an Wow, I'm glad that wasn't on camera. Fuck me.
Oh, your mustache.
I know. It's a travesty. Knows why? Why you do this to me? Why you produce so much snot? I don't know. No, snot rag burn. Don't blow away. Why you produce so much snot? I don't need it. Histamine, please. I need some Claritin or some shit. It's clear that I need some Claritin. Or it's Claire, I need some Claritin. One of the two. I can't remember. We don't have Claritin, do we?
You got Benadryl?
I need some Benadryl then. That's awesome. I forgot we had Benadryl. Dude, the histamine is going wild. Histamine gone wild. What the fuck? Ugh. His hair needs to be brushed. It's in a bad way. Ow. Oh boy. Ow. Ugh. Sorry. A little creepiness for you there. Just say hi, Fred, and I will know this isn't a recording. Looks good. All right, let's start this all over. Let's resegment out the hair. Let's get the stuff pushed back and up and over the shoulders and shit. 'Cause I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm not liking it. Hair, cooperate. Okay. It's almost like it's being defiant today because I just said, like, I kind of like it when my hair's hard to deal with. It's like, oh, really? You need pigtails? Yeah. 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 No. Oh, thank you, baby. Delicious Benadryl. Delicious, delicious Benadryl for my allergies, which I'm sure are being really helped by all the smoke out here. Come on, logs. You know what to do. Looks like you're kind of doing it. Do it more. What?
I think we're another stack of good stuff.
Let's smoke to cure the smoke. Benadryl makes me drowsy, but a good nap nonetheless. No. I don't really get ultra super fucking drowsy on Benadryl. Whoa. You gotta be careful putting that on there.
I'm not putting it on here.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting it nearby.
Okay. I was gonna say. I have to snap that up a little bit, but that'll work great for kindling. I think these big logs will go eventually. I just need to work them down into the coals and shit. What's worse to you, Paul? Feeling sticky or greasy? Sticky, for sure. I hate feeling greasy, too. But sticky is like, oh, no, dude.
That's what needed.
I just think I need to just poke around on these big logs and kind of get them further.
Give them littler ones.
Well, no, I need to get them like worked down into the coals a little more, because there's a huge hot bed of coals down there that neither of these big boys can lay fully on, and I think that's the problem. There we go. One guy done. Already looking better now. Roll this over. There we go. Oh yeah. See? These big boys just needed to be worked down in there a little bit. There we go. But yeah, no, that's probably good, baby. I would guess. It'll definitely help with the smoking. Ludwig the Holy Blade. Talking about crazy ass fucking oxys and roxys and shit in the chat. Get that ass banned. Get that ass dunked. Like, this is not like the plugs hookup. This is not where you come to talk about dealing or taking a bunch of fucking drugs and shit. Unless we're talking weed. Paul doesn't want the temptation. No, Paul doesn't want his channel banned because it turns into an oxy-roxy fest in here. I joke. He thinks those logs aren't dry enough, bud. No, they're plenty dry, trust me. I just had them kind of cockeyed in the pit, and they were burning very unevenly, and now they're down in the coals, and they're not smoking anymore, and the fire's nice and hot again. They just needed a stoke, yo. I know the difference, like, believe it or not, I know the difference between logs that aren't dry enough, that are green and smoking too much, and dry-ass logs that are just burning unevenly. Like, I grew up making little campfires and shit. Thank God I'm a country boy. Jokes get you banned around these here parts. What's your favorite food to make at home? I like meat. It's like I like to make a steak or a burger or some chicken on the grill, that type of stuff. I like making the, like, protein end of things. Imagine being vegan. Imagine all the people. Yes, sir. It's best to be in the country right now. What? Paul likes meat without tendons. Yeah, I do. Oh my God. Get out of here. Bum. I'll have to call an order 66 on nonsense today. I can tell already. We're only 90-some minutes into this, and it's already turning into a fucking... So, yeah. We're calling an order. So let me explain to everybody in the chat what this means. An order 66 on nonsense means anything you type in my chat better be a coherent sentence, a question, a statement that can be read from one end to the other that isn't nonsense or based on some deep meme or referential humor. So we're now officially calling an order 66 on nonsense comments. Stephanie Owens will be the first victim of that if she's not careful. I'm giving you a second chance. I'll unban you if you get banned, but I'm telling you, Order 66 on nonsense is serious shit. Any good stories of interesting people from your time in the swamp? Not really. I mean, nothing that I would call like a full-blown story. I had neighbors and stuff that I met. You guys witnessed a really interesting little moment where I was doing a Highdeology out on my porch, and my upstairs neighbors were like, "Are you the amazing atheist?" I was like, "No, but I work with him." They're like, "Oh my God." That was kind of fun. But Santa Claus can have dark beard. Paul, have you ever witnessed police brutality in person? No, I have not. I've not ever witnessed police brutality directly in person that I can remember, and I'm pretty sure I would remember such a thing. I have a question. What do you think about the weird monoliths showing up around the country? I don't. I think it's probably some fucking rich dude doing a fucking... It's probably an ad campaign, if anything. Like, for some new fucking video game or some guerrilla ad campaign that the media is picking up on. Or like guerrilla art, yeah. Like those kind of Banksy pieces or whatever the fuck, or like that Space Invader pieces, that guy that puts like little Space Invader characters up. He makes them out of tile and then he pastes them up all over LA. Cops don't need guns. See how their attitude changes. Well, that's the thing, is like the whole idea of policing needs to change. And that's what I think a lot of people misunderstand about defund the police. Defund the police doesn't mean get rid of the police as a concept or fire every cop or whatever. It means let's rethink and retool the way that public services are handled in this country. This country's way bigger than it was in the fucking 30s and 40s when the modern police paradigm was really kind of locked into place in, middle America and upper class America and shit. And so let's look at that paradigm and look about what doesn't work about it now. And let's retool the police. Let's create different groups, different jobs within the police where people have different specialties. So instead of it just being one police academy that you go to, you go to an academy if you're going to be a person who's on the violence response team or whatever. So if you got like an active shooter or something, you need a SWAT team that can show up, right? So maybe that is your role within the police. And that's what you exist for, like a fireman. Until you're needed, you wait. And then there's a like kind of mental health crisis response team where somebody is having a drug-induced or mental health breakdown or both induced episode or outburst, like some naked guy running around in the streets ranting and raving or some shit. You don't need to immediately send armed officers. You send trained mental health professionals who can try and restrain this guy in a way that's not going to hurt him, or try and talk this person down in a way that's not going to hurt them. You know what I mean? Like and if it becomes necessary that an escalated response is needed, then that happens. But this idea that you send that you got the same blunt tool for every societal problem is just ridiculous. And it's the basis of all these fucking issues. It's like a cop that's on the beat doesn't need a gun. A beat cop should not have a gun. A cop that's just in the neighborhood to keep the peace and blah, 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 and check on things doesn't need a gun. Now, if he sees something happening with a gun, he calls in the people with the guns. But your average Joe Grunt that's pulling you over on the fucking street because he's on traffic duty that day shouldn't have a fucking gat. It just doesn't, it makes no fucking sense. It's like things, it's almost like thinking about it like pre-crime. It's like, well, yeah, what happens if somebody pulls out a gun? Then the cop has no gun. And it's like, then the cop fucking gets on his radio immediately and says, 1099, 782, shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. And fucking the SWAT team comes in. You know what I mean? That's, what are you talking about? By which time people are dead. By which time people are probably already dead anyway, because even if there was a cop a block away when the shooting started and he has a gun, he's probably going to end up dead too if he's going up against somebody with and he's got a pistol and they've got, you know, bigger ordnance or something. Think like the bank robbery in LA that happened back in like the early 2000s or late 90s. Why wouldn't that work out great? Like, it's pretty easy to type a smug comment with a little at the end of it, but it's kind of hard to refute an argument. So why wouldn't that work out great? What's one beat cop with a gun gonna do in a violent fucking situation other than escalate that situation? I'll wait. Some European cops have a gun safe in the car. That's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah. So a beat cop, right? Walking the beat. Give him some non-lethal fucking shit. Like, I know the Bobbies carry a club, don't they? Or they used to. The old Bobbies used to carry a club. You know, give him a billy club or some shit or whatever the fuck in case somebody gets rowdy. But, I mean, come on, dude. You know how rare shooting incidents are amongst the police? I don't, but I'm pretty sure they're pretty rare. Like, a cop being in a shooting incident is a big event in their career. It's like something they have to fill out reams and reams of paperwork for and go to the shooting team and testify about the use of their firearm and blah, 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 blah. There's mandatory investigations and all this shit. It's like, a cop having to whip his gun out or her gun out or their gun out and shoot at somebody is a rare event. Some cops live their whole lives and never draw their gun. So this idea that, like, there's this need to have every cop out on the street strapped up to the max is just ridiculous. You're talking about tearing out the police. You're talking about having a neighborhood / area cop, like an old beat cop, whose job it is to just enforce, like, the fucking traffic laws in the area, to enforce, like, public intoxication and shit like that, to make sure no fights break out amongst people. And if that cop sees some, like, he's on his beat and he looks across the street and he sees a fucking jewel thief holding guns on people and shit and robbing a store. Dinor. You don't own the neighborhood, bro. But anyway, if that beat cop who isn't armed to the teeth sees something going down, He calls it in, and there's a rapid response team that comes in a helicopter. I don't give a fuck. They're there in like 3 minutes. And in the meantime, the beat cop gives all the relevant information about the getaway vehicle, descriptions of the perps, armaments that he can do from a safe distance. And then the professionals come in and wait until these guys are out of the population center and then jump them. So let's say that like a normal cop, a normal team of cops, unarmed, respond to a domestic violence call where a neighbor has called and said that it sounds like somebody's being slapped up next door. Sounds like a guy's abusing his girlfriend next door. I keep hearing, you know, rumbling noises and her screaming in pain and stuff. So a couple of normal beat cops show up, and if they can't de-escalate the situation, or if there's any sign of a gun, they call in the higher tier cops. But I'm telling you, domestic violence situations, 99% of the time, don't require a gun to diffuse. Usually the presence of authority is what diffuses them. I'm talking about having a rapid response kind of setup. You know, like the firefighters, for example. You know how they're on call, but there might be like whole weeks where there's no fires, but these guys still get paid? You've got a team of professional fucking cops who are trained in safe use of firearms in order to rapidly, tactically attack a situation, like firefighters that are stationed around big areas and put centrally in smaller areas that can get somewhere in 5 fucking minutes. So you call them in. They show up in the fucking helicopter or whatever the fuck. They land, and all of a sudden the situation is being de-escalated in the way it needs to. See, we're looking at cops these days, because they are all the same thing. There are specialty cops. There are cops that are licensed to be on the SWAT team or whatever, and they have extra training and shit. But in general, your average Joe cop is your average Joe cop. They all have guns. They all have access to bigger guns, usually in their cars. They all have non-lethal options on them. They're all strapped up for every occasion. They're an all-occasion enforcer. I'm talking about breaking that up into different levels of training. So the people that would respond to a domestic violence situation on the first call, unless there's been shots fired already. So if the call comes in, hey, I live in an apartment 7C at such and such road, and the apartment right next to me, 7B, it sounds like they're having a really bad fight in there. It sounds like he might be hitting her. I'd like, those cops that respond to that are de-escalation cops. They're cops that show up in a show of authority that have less than lethal weaponry. They've got pepper spray if they need it, or whatever a shocker, zip zapper, whatever they call that fucking, the stun gun, whatever. If they need it, they show up, and typically that's what happens in 90% of domestic violence cases that are called in, or more probably.
Yeah.
The
Or
cops
they
show
just
up.
And they're like, oh, everything's fine, bye.
Well, no. They show up, they investigate it, they look and see if somebody is bruised up. If there's any insinuation that a gun is involved at all, 722 rapid response team needed, there's a gun on the premises, blah, 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 and then the sweep and clear team comes in. And they use flashbangs and less than lethal unless there's a gun pointed at them, and then they kill whoever's trying to shoot them, if they have to. But so few things escalate to that level, but every cop treats, if everything's a fucking nail, or whatever, is all you have is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. That's the saying, right? That's the problem with our police force right now. It's too broad. They're all a hammer. Every problem starts to look like a nail when the only tool that you've got is a hammer. They need to be split up into de-escalation teams. So there's a de-escalation team that shows up for general public drunkenness calls or loud party. The person that shows up to a, hey, the party is too loud call doesn't need to be strapped. Hey, my neighbors are having a party and it's 2 a.m. and they're bumping fucking Dr. Dre so loud that I can't sleep and it's fucking Monday night and I gotta be at work in 3 hours. That dude that shows up to that doesn't need to be strapped up at all. Needs to just be a cop, a de-escalation cop that shows up and says, guys, noise ordinance.
Or I think some police in other countries, they like lock their guns in their car. So if it's
Well,
like a
somebody
dangerous
mentioned that,
situation,
and I'd be
don't-
fine with that.
That
So
way
those,
it's like accessible, but like they have to retreat first. They can't be the aggressor. They have to retreat to their car first. Then get
right?
the
They
gun.
right. Well, yeah, but they have to, and I think in some of them they have to call it in to get it unlocked. Like they have to say,
Yeah, and then
shots
that
fired,
dispatch
shots
does
fired.
shit.
Need access to my weapon, and then it's remotely unlocked by the dispatch, and then they've got something to defend themselves with. But at that point, you have to do that in concert with body cams
Yeah.
and gun cams too. The ones that take a picture every time the trigger is pulled at whatever the gun is pointed at. You do that, we have a whole different police force. If they see something really violent going on or there's some hostage situation, which are incredibly rare, but they do happen, or a mass shooting, rapid response team, just like firefighters. Dinor!
Dinor!
Let's put him in.
Hey, come on. What's enough?
He just can't be out here. He thinks he owns the whole neighborhood. Go inside for a bit and think about what you've done. Can't hang with it, dude. The explosiveness of it drives me up a wall. It's literally nothing. There was a dude. There's a dude riding his bike. How dare he? And not even on in front of our property either. Like a block away, there's a guy on a bike. It's like, come on, dude. You need a sense of proportion, Dinor.
But I don't, Dad. Everyone's either amazing or they're horrible.
I know. Anybody that you meet that I see you give a hug to, I love them. But if they're not that, they're evil. It's like, no. There's not even that many fucking people that live around us. And he's just still like any one jogger that comes by, he's like fucking, goddamn.
Not cars, though, thank God.
Yeah, cars, he don't care about no cars. Some dogs will fucking like, wasn't Maisie like
hated
that?
Motorcycles.
Oh, motorcycles particularly. Yeah. I've seen dogs that are every car.
Yeah.
They're just like, get the fuck out of here. And then another one comes by going the other way and they're like, hey, you get the fuck out of here. All the way along the fence line. You ever seen a dog like that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I couldn't hang. Dogs barking, like I'm fine with Dinor barking and stuff, but it's so explosive. Like you guys don't understand.
He's got hound dog in him, so it's like.
Right. So his breed groups are Shih Tzu, Cocker Spaniel, Chihuahua, and Hound. And the Hound is a general breed group, but one of the Hound things that he has is he's got this it's not deep.
It's just projected.
Yeah, very loud bang kind of bark that comes out of fucking nowhere. And it's so startling because you'll just be sitting there chilling, half stoned, having a conversation, and then all of a sudden it's like, "Whoa!" You're like, the fuck was that? You know?
I mean, they're built to be like hunting dogs where they call you over from like
Right.
2 miles away or whatever.
That's the Hound. That's what they were bred for, is to be loud. So when they find, the kill that went down, they can bay and you can follow or when they tree a raccoon.
Yeah.
So they'd get a raccoon chased up a tree and then they'd bay at the tree. And it's so fucking loud that all you got to do is follow your ears and then you got a treed raccoon. I ain't got no raccoons that I want them to tree. And I ain't shooting no ducks out in the middle of nowhere that I need to go retrieve. Okay? But he's got all the instincts of that. And it's just one of the things you have to learn to live with Dinor. You're going to be startled sometimes. Because he's just explosive. That's the best way to
Yeah.
explain it. It doesn't sound like an explosion, but the way it just goes from 0 to 100, it's just like, and you'll be so chill.
Yeah.
Like a nothing event will happen, and you won't even hardly even notice it. You'll just be like, and then all of a sudden, like right in your ear, you're like, ah! What the fuck? He's explosive, dude. Have a power talk with the tyke once he's cooled off. Yeah, it's time for some dad. We gotta have a 1-to-1 about the barks, man. I need to explain to him. Walk him. I've already walked the perimeter with him. He knows what our property is.
He thinks he has more, but if there was another dog ass to ass with us, he'd learn that that's his property in the line, not the
Right.
street.
Exactly, dude. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to tell him. I wish that Dino could just understand basic concepts. That's all. And I could just talk it. Like, one of the things that I wish that for is because he's got, like, separation anxiety. So I would love to be able to tell him, like, Dino, Daddy will be back in, like, 2 hours. Or Mom's just leaving to go to work. Or whatever it is that we're leaving to do. We're leaving you with Grandma for 2 weeks, or we're leaving you with Chelsea for 3 weeks, and then we'll be back because we're going on vacation. Whatever it is, I wish I could explain to him that, like, because I think in his mind he thinks I've abandoned him.
Yeah.
And it's so
He doesn't
sad.
understand the difference between someone leaving for 3 years and someone leaving for 3 minutes.
Right. Dogs don't really have that concept of time that we have. So it's like me saying I'll be gone for 2 hours, that's too lofty a concept.
Or he just like before the sun goes down. Or in the morning or whatever.
Yeah, you'd have to explain some kind of event that happens every day. Maybe set up a little bell. Like, Daddy will be home around the time the bell goes off, and then you set up a little alarm for when you expect to be home. You know, and you make sure that you get home at that time or whatever. But I'd rather do that than have him think that I just, like, left him here. Like, Dad left, Mom left, and they're never coming home.
Yeah. He was so sad when he returned the U-Haul, dude.
Oh, I know. I got in the U-Haul, and he was so, because I think part of him liked being on that road trip.
Yeah.
Did you
But
not?
he also knew that U-Haul went across the country.
Right. And when I got in it, he thought, Dad's leaving for, like, I could see, like, he was like, I was getting in the U-Haul right over there. And I'm like, buddy, I'm just returning it. I'll be right back. But he knew that truck, like the concept that truck, went a long way.
Yeah.
He had that in his head
That you were
somewhere.
gonna turn right around and drive back to
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Like, I was going back to where we were, and I was leaving him here.
Yeah.
And I wish I could just, like, explain to him, like, Daddy has to return the truck. That's all. I'll be back. Hope you're enjoying your new pad. Have you considered getting chickens? We're probably not going to do it here, but yeah, having like some animals is something both me and Amelia want. So any property that we would purchase in a place.
But we ain't building a chicken coop on a rental.
No, we're renting right now. So, but any property that we would purchase in a place, you know, we would definitely have a couple animals around and stuff. Dude, Dinor would not maul the chickens.
He's starting to get a taste for mouse blood, though.
Yeah, he does. Well, he's got Mauser.
Yeah.
Shih Tzus are Mausers. Chihuahuas are Mausers. Spaniels are more hunting companion dogs. Trackers and stuff.
But his nose don't work.
But his nose don't work at all. No. And then hounds. So he's got basically all the crap from the different dogs that he doesn't need.
Yeah.
He's got all these instincts that he really doesn't need to use.
Yeah.
We don't want him to use most of them. Poor Dinor. Got like 8 different kind of working dogs living at him, and he's trying to figure it all out all the time. My sister is really into homesteading, and her experience with chickens was less than amicable. I had chickens growing up. I know how to do chickens. Chickens are a pain in the ass. So you don't get a ton of chickens. That's the thing. It's like you commit yourself to not having 10 chickens. You have 2 or 3 hens maybe and a rooster if you want eggs. And if you want to keep the chicken supply.
Yeah.
And you don't allow eggs that are fertilized to incubate unless you want more chickens. So you just every morning you go get the lay and you use it. You put them in the fridge immediately, which if they're fertilized will kill it and you can still use the egg, but typically an unfertilized egg is what you want.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't even get a rooster. You just get 2 or 3 hens.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's their period basically.
Right.
They don't need to be hooked up for
So you get 2 or 3 hens. You know what I mean? And that's it. They lay eggs. It's probably not enough to do all your eggs, but it's enough.
Probably for us, we use like 4 eggs.
Yeah, that's true. If that. So that's what I'm saying, man. Where's Lord of Duck? He's probably out there with his ducks. That's where I'd be. If I was Lord of Duck, I'd be chilling with them ducks all day. I'd do my whole show with the ducks.
Yeah, check his Twitter, Holy Duck Kingdom.
Yep. Holy Duck Kingdom on Twitter. Go follow him over there. He every day he posts some stuff about his ducks. I love it. But yeah, we can get some ducks. Maybe a little billy goat.
Yeah. Dude, this whole thing would be clear in like a week.
If we had a goat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'd eat all the undergrowth and shit over there for sure around the trees. Probably strip the bark off the fucking trees and eat it. Knowing billy goats. But I had a billy goat growing up, and they're pretty fun, honestly. They're stubborn as fuck, but they're cool little animals to be around.
My uncle worked for Pemco, and like that they did like the Pacific Northwest profiles. So he made the one that was goat herder guy, like a Pacific Northwest bringing a flock of goats to clear some underbrush.
Oh.
With a chainsaw.
I see. Yeah, I mean, do it. No, having a goat would be cool. You know, capybaras, obviously, if we could find a place where it's legal to keep them and they'd be, you know, be an environment that they'd be happy in. Doesn't have to be tropical for capybaras, but you got to keep their environment tropical-esque, and it can't be somewhere that it snows and shit. You just can't be having cappies. You got to be somewhere that's like temperate. You got to make their environment swampy. Give them a nice mud hole.
Lots of produce.
Lots of produce, yeah.
You wouldn't want to be living in the middle of the desert eating like 50 pounds of produce a week.
No. You got to look into keeping cappies, you know. Goats really will eat everything. Yes, they will. They'll eat a tin can. I shit you not. Like, you shouldn't let them, but they'll do it. A goat will eat a fucking just whole pile of garbage. Same thing with snakes. I got a humidifier for that, or else they shed weird. Yeah, see, I don't know that I'm like... The one reptile that I've always wanted, that I've considered getting, is a chameleon. They're really chill reptiles to have, but they have very specific, like, habitat.
A beardy like Chelsea. No.
Dude, I love Nova. I'm just not like as enamored of the coolness of, because like that's the thing. That's the kind of the fucked up thing about getting a reptile, is it's more about how cool they are to the person. And I don't think that's true for Chelsea. I think she just loves animals and wants every kind of animal.
And Nova will chill with you.
Oh, no, dude, Nova has chilled with me. There have been times, like when I lived in that house, I would go to where, like, I would start having panic attacks and stuff, right? And I'd go to where Nova was, and I'd just grab a chair and I'd sit there and I'd watch her. And sometimes I'd talk to her. She'd calm me right down, because there was something about her existence that reminded me, like, animals don't, you know what I mean? They've got it figured out on some level. They don't worry about shit. And
especially reptiles.
Right.
Dinosaur can have some anxiety too.
That's true, but even him, he reminds me, Cricket especially, like, don't worry, be happy, you know what I mean? But like Nova was like ultimate for me. I would love when Chelsea would bring her out, because I would always say, can I have her for a little bit? And she'd sit right on my chest and just chill. So that's cool. But I've always wanted a chameleon. I've had an iguana. I would never do that again. Iguanas are crazy. They're just insane creatures. I've told the story of Iggy the iguana that I had here before, so I won't belabor the point. But I had an over 6 foot iguana. I believe he was 8 feet long from nose to tail. He was huge, bull iguana, huh?
And mean.
And meaner than a tiger, dude. But like intermittently mean. That was the fucked up thing about it, is like some days he would just be like, and you'd go in there to feed him and you'd be all wary and you'd grab his food and he wouldn't even move. He'd just be like, and there'd be some days where he'd be like, and you're like, oh fuck, man, not Iggy, I'm getting you more food. You know, you're like, oh my fucking God, bro. Yeah, the tail slap, he would do that whip. Oh dude, I got the tail whip. He took a chunk out of my foot. I'll show you the scar. It's on the bottom of this foot. It might be hard to see now, but that was the day that I fucking like broke up with Iggy. Didn't break up with him, but like realized he was an animal that I couldn't handle the same way I used to. When he was little, I have a picture of me. When we visit my mom, I'll however dig it out. I'm holding Iggy, and he's on my thumb, and his arms don't even reach all the way around my thumb. He's that small. He was that little when we got him. So I've got Iggy and he's on my thumb. Well, Iggy, as he grew up and got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, was intolerant of other people but me. He would sit on my shoulder sometimes. Like I had this room that had a little TV in it where I would go to play my video games. And it was like a little side room in my mom's house. And you could seal it up. You could close the doors. So I would close the doors and I would let Iggy out in there and just let him run around in the room and get in the sun or whatever in there. And he would almost always end up coming right over and like laying right on my shoulder. And we had kind of this cool little relationship. And I was like, all right, cool. One day I was sitting cross-legged on the ground feeding Iggy in that room. And I was barefoot because I was in the house. And I'm throwing him lettuce, and he's like, you know, going in on it, and he's looking at it. It was so cool feeding him because the way they consider everything. They always turn their heads. They're like, they get like one eye on everything, and then they do it from the other side too. They're like, and I'd throw the lettuce down, and he'd do that. He'd go like. So anyway, I got to the end of the lettuce that I had brought from him and all the treats or whatever it was I was feeding him. And he's sitting there on the ground, and I'm like, sorry, bro, that's it. And then he starts looking at me like that. He goes, and I was like, sorry, man, I got no more lettuce. And he, like a shark in the water, you ever seen him, like how they just fucking kick into high gear? He did that shit, but on the ground. He was like, and went for my foot. And he bit it, and at first, I didn't even feel any pain because their teeth, I didn't know it until that day, by the way. Their teeth are like razors. So it's like, I felt a little pinch or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And I pushed him away, you know, and he went and skittered off. And I was like, what was that? And I got up and started walking, and all of a sudden, my foot's slipping on my mom's tile. And I look down and I've left like bloody footprints. And I'm like, oh shit. And I look at the bottom of my foot and there's this crescent that's just gushing blood. And I was like, oh God, what the fuck? So I hopped on one foot and grabbed a towel and ruined it. It was horrible. But after that day, after I showed my mom that shit, she was like, well, we're going to have to build him a new enclosure and you're going to have to stop getting him out like that. And I was like, no shit. Like, I didn't know he could do that much damage, and, like, you definitely don't want kids around him and stuff. My sisters were younger when Iggy was in the house. I was a teenager, but they were still, like, 11, 10. So my stepdad built him this big, giant indoor enclosure. Most of that room became Iggy's. Big old branch in it, kept tropical temperature, humidified, all of his light was perfect, and that just became where he was. We only had to get him out to clean it. We'd coax him out with food and let him run around in the rest of the room and not touch him. Clean out his poop and clean out the cage, and then just kind of let him decide when to go on back in there and then close it up. and that was it. Because it's like he kicked in and became a predator, which they are.
Yeah.
They're vicious. Like that's how they go after prey.
Basically, no herbivore is like 100% true herbivore.
Well, they're insectivores.
I just mean like even in general, like deer will fucking kill a baby mouse or something if they get an opportunity.
Right, they're omnivores, but yeah, I mean, when you're feeding them, you feed them mealworms for their protein, and other insects, crickets, mealworms for their protein, and then a variety of fruits and vegetables. And it has to be a specific kind, like they need tropical type shit. So spinaches, guava. We bought a ton of papaya when we could get it. A motherfucker would eat a papaya a day when he at the height of it. In addition to like all the lettuce and
But
shit.
out in nature, even though he's an insectivore, if you saw a little mouse and he was starving, he'd go for it.
Oh, they eat mice.
Yeah.
Straight up, they eat birds, mice, frogs, whatever the fuck they can get their little razor teeth on. See, that's the thing, though, is like you never know what you're going to get with an iguana. Some iguanas are so chill that they'll just ride around on their owner's shoulders, and they'll just, that's what they are. Like, you can come up and pet them, and they're nothing but big old lazy chill things all day. And some of them are just big bull iguanas that are angry all the goddamn fucking time, like Iggy. Not angry, but just filled with piss and vinegar and the desire to eat. And there's no accounting for that, you know what I mean? But I did a lot of research into chameleons, especially the bigger ones, which is what I want to get. I want to build a big vertical enclosure for a chameleon. So he has a real big, nice branch complex to live in. Nice and humid in there. All the light that he needs. Because chameleons are pretty fucking chill on the whole. They can be fucked up, but if you handle them when they're little, they're like routinely handleable as adults. And I've looked into how to kind of ensure that with contact, but it would take a lot of work, you know. I just don't know if I'm interested.
Because I mean, you were a kid when you got Iggy, so you didn't.
And my parents bore the brunt of that.
Yeah.
They paid for it. My dad built the enclosure. They probably cleaned that cage way more than I did. In fact, I know they did. And when I left, because I got him, you know, later in my teens, and he became a giant bull around the time they kicked me out of the house, he became theirs. I didn't take no Iggy with and a giant enclosure with me to fucking Arizona to live on people's couches and shit. That wasn't happening. So he was their fucking problem to deal with, which sucks. But you know, what are you gonna do?
But you found a good home though.
Mm-hmm. It finally got to the point where my parents were tired of taking care of him. It was too much work. He was not really a pet for them. He was more like this bully that lived in the house that they had to feed. And
Like their resident demon or something.
yeah,
I require food.
they found a reptile rescue. And I remember my mom telling me that when she called them, and she said, "We have this iguana, and we want to get rid of him." And the guy was immediately like, "Nope. Sorry, we have too many iguanas, blah, 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 blah. We don't even take baby iguanas anymore." And she was like, "He ain't no baby." And he was like, "Well, how big is he? Is he a juvenile?" And she said, "Well, we tried to measure him. He's about 7 feet, maybe 6 feet, nose to tail, something like that." And he was like, "Oh, you have a bull."
Because they were probably sick of everyone like getting an iguana as soon as it got a pain in the ass, people dumping them.
Right. And so it's like, that changed the whole fucking conversation. And they ended up coming and picking up Iggy and his enclosure. Because they marked on it when they came. They were like, "Man, this is perfect." And he was like, "You want it?" And they loaded it up on the truck with Iggy and took that back to the fucking reptile sanctuary thing. And he probably lived in there for a while he was introduced to a new environment. I gotta get my fucking cord.
I got it.
Well, you don't have to do it, baby. I'll go get it real quick. I don't know where it is.
It's probably in the bedroom.
Yeah, it's probably in the bedroom. I'll just leave this out here. I'll be right back. I gotta go get my cord. Did that extension cord ever come?
Got delayed.
Still delayed?
That's why I got your clothes from not Amazon because
Right. Shitty, man. How range does this theoretically give me? Theoretically, it gives me about that much range, so we'll do that. I'm not really in the zone anymore, but I'm close enough. Thank you for stoking that, by the way, baby.
No problem.
those logs need some love.
Yes, they do. Well, this is the Dynor stick, or one of them. I had a little talk with him. I told him he has to be quiet if he comes out. I think he knows what that word means. He's heard it enough. You want to play fetch with your stick? With him. Oh, he wants to play fetch with his stick. Where did he go?
He got distracted.
And now he doesn't know where it went. Oh, Dynor. People say you can't train cats, but all of mine know the word no very well. Yeah, I mean, cats can learn, but like, I don't know if they can ever be. He's so dumb. Amelia has now thrown the stick twice in broad daylight, and Dynor has trotted off after it and lost, like in the wrong direction. Okay, he saw that one. Don't bring it to me. I don't want you, stick. Take it to mama. I don't want your stick right now. But she does. He's colorblind, so it's hard for him. Yeah, probably. But he's doing fine now. Once again, dude. Mama's standing right there. I know Dad plays fetch with you a lot, but so does Mom. Prance. Drunk Dinor, yeah. Go home, Dinor. You are drunk. He's having a good fetch now. Do any whittling on that porch? Not at the moment. Maybe I should start, though. Maybe I should get a good whittling knife and some good whittling wood, and I should sit out here and just carve little figurines. Paul, the way you insult your son like that is not very nice. Get out of here. Did you get a big dog? You have the space. No, thank you. I like the little dog that I got right now. You get a big dog if you get the space. Like that idea that, oh, I've got space now. I need to fill it with a big giant dog that takes dumps like a rhino. No, thank you. I like smaller dogs and medium-sized dogs. I'll stick to those. You deal with the rhinoceros dumps, dude. The mouse head again? Oh man, we just need to, I need to get some like some tissue or something and just go get that mouse head and throw it in the fire and be done with it. I'm gonna cook that mouse head, Dinor.
Then he'll just think it smells tastier.
Probably. There's like a dead mouse carcass out there on the property that Dinor keeps going to, and he's like obsessed with it. He goes over there and he sniffs it and he wants to bite it. I think it's engaging his mouse instinct. Why'd you leave your stick? Don't make mom go fetch the stick. It's not how this game works. There's only so many sticks that are good for you to be fetching anyway. Oh, now mom can't find the stick. There's a drama going on in the backyard now. There's a mystery. Did the stick fall down a gopher hole? Yeah. Does your dog eat his own poop? No, he does not. Thank goodness. He's not a poop. Dinor will roll in things, or he did when he was a puppy. When Dinor was a puppy, he would roll in things. Ever owned a pit? No. When you give them a bath and the first thing they do is roll in the dirt, yep. That's why Dinor had to be inside on one Highdeology, because he just had a bath. And I know he's going to just roll in the dirt. Like how he goes around that patch of grass right there, like it's an obstacle that he can't get through. It's interesting.
Ready to find another mouse, digging for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's, like I said, he's got all that Mauser going on.
Let me bring some water out for you, bud.
Grab him a Chewy, too.
Yeah.
You can have an outside Chewy here. Maybe you'll chill if you can just kick back and have a Chewy. Austin is still on the cop subject. Maybe he's behind. Your lawn must be a bitch to mow. I don't live on a manicured piece of land. I live on empty land. So I don't have a lawn. So my lawn is not a bitch to mow. Like I live on a patch of like open foresty kind of land. So it kind of takes care of itself. The firearm there is an option. Dude, that thing is half built and a piece of shit. If I owned this place, I would take that like built-in barbecue outdoor kitchen half-finished piece of old shit out immediately. That'd be one of the first things I'd do. It's just a totally useless spider nest now, basically.
Cricket had to get a treat too.
Oh, of course. You got a Chewy Dinosaur? Oh boy. Oh boy. Miscommunication. He's talking about guns. How did I miscommunicate that? I don't know what happened. I'm lost. It's more like it's not a pasture. It's more like just an opening in a foresty kind of area. It's got
Oh, I think
sparser
Othello
trees.
is back in the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Othello?
Othello, I think, is behind on the stream and doesn't realize it because I have DVR enabled. I think he's somehow got paused and then he hit play again and he thinks it's live, but he's just hearing me talk cops. Stupid ass Othello. Everybody laugh at Othello. A clearing, there you go. It's very shady back here. It's good most parts of the day. In the morning and in the evening, the sun hits this little patio area, but in a very pleasing way. And then the property itself is very nice and shady and cool. Sow some pretty flowers on that land. Hey, maybe I will.
Okay, Othello is fine.
What the fuck? I don't know, dude. I'm confused. Othello, no, dude. I'm confused. But it's all good. It's hard for me to follow multi-comment conversation in this chat when I'm just bloviating like I am. I wish I could grow mushrooms if I had cows. Oh, you guess you could grow, yeah, because mushrooms like to grow in cow patties, for sure.
You know what we need? A pig and truffles.
Oh yeah, truffle pig, and a place where truffles grow. Oh yeah.
Where do they grow?
I know a name that I would name my truffle pig.
Yeah.
Brett.
Yeah.
Just the name that I don't know why, it just sounds like a truffle pig to me. Dogs can find truffles too, yep. Pig. Pig, 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 piggity pig, pig, pig. You don't get it? Well, if you don't get it, you're probably better off. You're a lucky person if you don't get it. You haven't been infected by the chili with no cheese. The 1, 2, 3s. The 1 if by land and the 2 if by seas. Ooh, I can do like different filters and stuff. I forgot about this little aspect.
Oh, dude, Oregon has a truffle festival.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll move to Oregon, baby.
Or are we already in Oregon?
Good point. Dream. Whoa. What's up, man? Welcome to Highdeology. It's me, Ballsy Gowner. Okay, that's enough of that. Wow. Ooh. This looks rustic. I'm leaving it on this for a minute, man. Look at this. The old 8mm filter.
Oh shit, Jabisky got some panda.
Oh, yeah? Panda Express, yo. The real deal. Well, really not the real deal. The porno filter makes it look like an old, like, 70s movie. That's pretty cozy for me. You ain't getting that blue wrench with money, Snorlax. I told you the price. 1,000,000 Norwegian kroners.
He's only spent 100. He's got so much further to go.
Oh my God, dude, you got a hill to climb. 1,000,000 Norwegian kroners, and I will wrench you a fucking. I swear to God.
I mean,
But that's the price.
Rickland paid you $100 for a kangaroo court trial, and you still didn't get right.
That's true. Rickland was defrocked for capitulating to TJ's whims when he did a guerrilla takeover of my channel.
Yeah.
And then he paid me for a trial in which I found him guilty and did not re-wrench him. And now he's Rickland the Punished.
Yeah. Or no, now he's the jester of Lord of Duck.
Yeah, he's Lord of Duck's court jester now.
I guess you could wrench Mr. Naughty Priest.
I don't think he wants it.
No.
Nah.
And I guess he's already shows up because he donates such obscene amounts of money, so
Yeah.
you need a wrench to see him.
And Naughty Priest doesn't usually, sometimes, and I really enjoy it when he does, because Naughty Priest is an interesting dude. But he usually doesn't participate much in the chat other than to just drop by and say, hey, thanks, you know.
Here's $50.
Right.
It's $5.
Well, he only wants one thing. He's single-minded. He wants my dick on Pornhub, and he has for 5 years now. And I guess one day I'm going to have to give it to him. I mean, at some point, it becomes absurd.
Can you do private links on Pornhub? Like
No, he wants my dick on Pornhub.
Okay.
He wants it out there. That's what he's trying to buy. He must be getting close. I mean, he's climbing that ladder.
You don't got your retirement on lock yet.
No. But, I mean, he's making his way, you know.
Oh, Skeptic 2006 Team Defrogged.
Team defrogged. Oh, yeah. He was defrocked, too.
Sorry, Skeptic. I don't buy the bouncing on your leg.
Yeah, dude, that meme, that's a little tough to buy, man. Maybe it happened, and that's just poor luck for you, but we got to be, like, real paranoid about the banning shit around here, because I've seen what can happen, and, dude, that cost me time. I ran out my life clock fixing that shit. I fixed it, but fucking YouTube sucks so bad, you can't mass unban if you've got, like, over, like, 150 people on the list, so you got to go through and do 5 at a time. And he had, like, systematically banned, like, 400 or 500 people. It was absurd.
You're talking about Ilamau, not...
Ilamau, yeah.
Skeptic 2006, he banned, like, 10 people. He just happened to bump it twice in just the right way.
Thank you. He's been guilt-tripping me for that. Well, tell him to shut up, Jessica. Dude, I, like...
Now, he can be timed out.
I'm telling you, dude, if he wants to guilt-trip anyone, he can guilt-trip Amelia, because, dude, she put me up on game, and then I saw him do 2 bans after she said that shit, and I was like, nope, and then he said, huh? And I defrocked him. And I was like, I ain't playing that game. He didn't get banned, he just got de-wrenched, you know? Maybe you'll get it back, but I don't really buy this leg bouncing story, man. It don't sound like it happened to me. But I am a little paranoid, you know. Oh, Ilamau? Well, he's unbanned now. I've done mass unbans since then. He's welcome to come back. Like, it was actually pretty funny. I didn't see it coming, so I don't hate.
Figure out what code to use.
Yeah.
You can use it for your own purposes.
Seriously, if I want to just ban the whole chat one night.
Yeah.
One time I made someone a mod and they immediately posted a link to porn. Shit happens, bro. Shit happens. What do you want to do? We all want to know his motives. Yeah, no, he's definitely welcome in the community still. Like, he's not a pariah. He's just defrocked. You know? He's an ex-Spectre. He's got to live with it.
You gotta make room for new specters.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, sometimes the cycle of specterhood works like that, and the council decides, and that's it. You know. Now there's three. There's three defrocked specters in the history of
I think
Highdeology.
he done one more.
Really?
Yeah. Jared. I don't know. It was Jay Darky.
Jay Dark. Well,
Jamie Darky.
Jamie Darky got defrocked. She was the first. And then Isla Mao, and
No,
now,
it was Ricklin before Alamo.
and then Ricklin, and then Isla Mao, and then now Skeptic 2006. I mean, it's just, you know, there's four. The four of you could like create a little cabal against Paul, you know, and start doing like counter ideology streams and shit, stealing my audience. Or you could just chill the fuck out, be normal fucking ideology watchers again, whatever you want to do.
Oh yeah, Tello got briefly defrocked by TJ.
Oh, that's right. But yeah, that didn't count. That was an oversight because there was a hostile takeover of the channel by a foreign entity that does not have the best interests of ideology at heart. Never giving up that blue wrench, my guy. All right, well.
See what 50 Norwegian kroners actually is.
Yeah. Give me, it'll give me an idea of how far this, well, I guess it kind of tells me here.
It's $5.
So yeah, $5 at a time. It's going to take you like 6 years, dude, or more, of multiple $5 at a time to get to 1 million Norwegian kroners. I'm telling you, man. I'll keep track. You keep track. You tell me when you get there. I'll start doing the math in my head. When we get right in that danger zone, I'll let you know. And then the wrench is yours. See, the thing is, if you mess up, I'll yank it from you just like anybody else. That's the thing. It's like you're buying the opportunity, but you do something stupid. It's 1 million Norwegian kroners that got flushed down the toilet, man. Just like the chat sometimes gets flushed down the toilet. It's been a long time since I had to flush you guys, though. I think things have mellowed. Maybe it's because I've mellowed a little bit. But yeah, chat hasn't had to go in the toilet for a while. I have been having to call Order 66s, though. I understand it's hard to believe. It's true, though. I blame the YouTube app. It's annoying you can't shut the screen off while playing something on it. It's all good, dude. Like I said, I may reverse my fucking judgment, but you're going to be on fucking probation. In fact, that's it. All right, so here's the deal. You're on Jason probation. I don't want to see you banning anybody right now, Skeptic. You got your wrench back. I've heard your pleas, but if I see a single ban from you or any of my other wrenches, they're watching you too now. Right now, you're wrench only. I don't want to see you moderating unless I ask you specifically to do something.
Yeah, if you call out a ban.
Like if you're the only wrench in the room and I say, hey, ban it, Skeptic, get this guy or whatever, then you can do it. But right now, you're on probation. You're on probation.
The wrenches can't mod.
What do you mean?
Someone asked if wrenches can mod people.
Mod people, what's that mean?
Like making a wrench.
Oh, make other wrenches? No. Only I can make a wrench. YouTube was smart enough to make that the case. So there can be no hostile takeover of the chat by wrenching up a bunch of bad actors or whatever. That's why I have to be so fucking harsh with people. That's why it has to be the way it is. You know? No wrench revolution, yeah. But the problem is that when one goes rogue, I'm the only one that can stop them, too. That's the thing. That's the double-edged sword that we talk about.
I'm gonna give these logs one more blanket.
Yeah, you're gonna give them one more little spritz. Flush? You're not getting flushed. Dude, the flush has to be reserved for special occasions. And there are only certain occasions where a flush has to happen. And it just ain't gonna be today. All right? Why do people abuse their power in communities and small YouTube chats? It's kind of sad but funny. Dude, I don't know, but it is what it is.
Sorry, babe.
What are you sorry
I
about?
didn't mean to light the rim of it.
Dude, it's stainless steel. It doesn't matter. It ain't gonna burn. Just be careful with it.
You don't want your chewy tea?
You don't want your chewy.
Why? You don't want it.
Chew your chewy.
No. All done.
He's tired.
Now lay down.
Got him all wore out with fetch. That there dino sure is a fetching fool. It's that lust for power and control. Some people are so used to not having any sort of control in their lives that when it comes in even small doses, they go crazy. Sometimes, yeah, I think that may be behind some of it. Sometimes I think it's just for the memes, you know, for like attention or whatever. Yeah, the cozy filter. You'll have to toss me. You'll have to toss me. Just back real quick, and hey, look, filter is back. Yeah, filter. I can do bubbles too if you guys miss those, but I'm kind of liking this filter right here for the moment. Maybe we'll do bubbles some other day. Getting corrupted by just mod powers in a YouTube channel. Yeah, I agree. That is a pretty big red flag situation. Well, you'll have to get a progress report on the bacon the next time I have access to the bacon cam. What would my dwarf name be? I really like the last name Grudge Bearer. So I'd be something like Grungy Grudge Bearer or something. I like that. Any advice for someone that has trouble projecting their voice on stage? Yeah. The way that I was taught was you have to try and feel like you're speaking from your stomach. So your stomach muscles should be engaged while you speak when you're trying to project your voice. Your diaphragm, like you can't keep your voice up in your head and try and project it. You have to have access to that diaphragmic kind of like reverberation to get your voice to bounce off the back wall of a theater. So that's the best way to do it, is to allow your stomach to do whatever it needs to do in order for you to maintain a constant projective voice. Yeah, Dinor could give some good advice if he could speak, but alas. A limerick revival? I don't know, man. They remain on the ban list. If I ate myself, would I be twice as big or disappear completely? I don't know, man. I think you'd disappear completely. But I don't know. You'd probably die before you could eat your whole self. So I would say disappear completely. I'm a giant tube. Okay. I can live with that, I guess. You're a giant tube, Paul. I think anyone who seeks the presidency is a sociopath, maybe. Got a nice chill vibe just now. Kind of lost myself in just like looking at the leaves on the trees and feeling a little breeze hitting me. I'm gonna have the fire pit burning down a little bit. It's a good morning. I don't have a lawn to mow. No, I live on a piece of like unmanicured land. I don't live on a lawn, so no. After he's dead, so you're delusional. It's all good too. So, oh, you're in some conversation I'm not part and parcel to. That's okay. You ever drink tea first thing in the morning, or is it usually coffee? I go back and forth. This morning it was coffee. Sometimes it's tea. I don't know. I like them both. Thank you for the $5 Canadian there, Yeti. Appreciate it. If you meant that to come with a message, go ahead and throw it up in chat. I know sometimes people will send one of these and fuck it up, not put a message or mean to. How to stop drinking sweet tea. I learned from Marshall Manson that I got GERD. Oh. Well, shit, dude. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have that shit. I don't deal with that problem. But I eat pretty simply. What place, in your opinion, has the best fries? Rowley's/Checkers. And it's really the only thing worth getting at the place, unfortunately. Everything else they serve is pretty much slop. But if you go to a Rowley's/Checkers, and you get their fries fresh, that's the best fry game in the business right there. %. I like how black fur accentuates the eyes. They really stand out day or night. Yeah. You're talking like the dark fur of a... Oh, thank you, babe. You brought some cold pizza out here for me. Oh, you did? Oh, really? Dope. Got some leftover pizza from last night.
Can I crunch it enough or needs to be on longer?
It's perfect. Damn, yo. Better than,
in the cast iron with a little butter in it too.
dude. Better than it was last night. Shit is dope. This ain't cold pizza. This is like pan reheated pizza.
Papa Murphy's.
Yeah, Papa Murphy's pizza.
Oh no, but now you're supporting Brett Fraser.
That's right. What the fuck? That's true. Oh well.
We got dirt on him if he ever tries the Senate campaign.
That's true. Pomegranate rock, dude. Hell yeah. Dude, the good thing about like pizza like this in the morning for me is like I don't like eating a big fucking thing in the morning. I just can't do it. So like a slice of this for me is perfect. Like I'm gonna be good and like I might have a couple bites of that other slice because it just looks too damn tasty, but I'm just saying. And it's convenient too, yeah. It's got all your major food groups. Got your grains.
Tomatoes a fruit.
Tomatoes a fruit. This has got jalapenos on it. Jalapenos are a fruit.
Or a vegetable.
Or a vegetable, or no, I think they're a
I
fruit.
don't know where peppers fit exactly. I think
They're
the wrong
fruits.
thing. Yeah? Okay.
I think. I'm 99% sure pepper is a fruit. I could be wrong though. I think anything that has seeds on the inside of it is no, that's not true. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're vegetables. I don't know. The line gets a little blurry with some things. But yeah. Got cheese, that's your dairy. It's got meat, that's your protein.
Yeah, you're right. There are peppers. Or they are fruits.
Really?
It seems like every time I check, a new vegetable is actually a fruit.
Yeah. It's true. Are there any fruits that are vegetables? You know what I mean? Like things people think are fruits, but they're actually vegetables. Like tomatoes are fruit. I've known that for a long time.
Grape leaves are a vegetable.
Grape leaves? No,
Not the grapes, but the leaves.
I see. Interesting. The grape leaves are a vegetable, but the grapes themselves are a fruit. And they both grow on the same plant.
Tomatoes are legally defined as vegetables in the U.S. That's how like schools get away with having ketchup fulfill the vegetable requirement.
Oh my God. Dude, when are our pipes supposed to get here?
Wednesday.
Got it. Well, I wish it was today. That would be dope. I'd love to have a pipe to smoke right now.
Green beans are fruit.
Are they?
Yep.
Damn. Green beans.
Corn is a fruit and a vegetable.
It's a vegetable.
Yeah, or a starch, depending on how you want to.
It's a root.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a what? How did that happen?
And it's a grain. It's a grain. It's a fruit. It's a vegetable.
It's a grain, a fruit, a vegetable, and an oil.
Yep.
What the fuck? Corn. Peanuts are
Watermelons
legumes.
vegetables.
Watermelons are vegetables.
Yeah.
That's one right there that fits the criteria for me. I thought melons were a fruit. Because if watermelon's a vegetable, and so is like honeydew and cantaloupe, right?
Probably.
You learn some shit every goddamn day. Well, corn is a band too. That's true. They're a band, an oil, a grain, a fruit, and a vegetable.
And a popcorn.
And a snack. A total snack. And a corn nut. The ultimate driving food, man. I think we wouldn't have made it if you hadn't got them corn nuts. That corn nut pickup was brilliant. It is impossible to sleep with a handful of fucking corn nuts in your mouth.
Yeah.
Too loud, too spicy, too overwhelming. Actually, wait, watermelon is technically a berry? What? No.
Who fucking knows?
Dude, I don't even know anymore. Delicious genetic monstrosities, yes. You can have that other piece, baby.
I'm grateful.
I might have another bite of it or two, but I'm pretty done. You ever had betel nuts? No.
Lychees are good in fruit salad and other nuts.
A lot of nuts are good in salads. Pine nuts and sunflower seeds are good in salads. Walnuts are good in some kind of salads. Almonds. Bloomin' onions, dude, yeah. I'm telling you, man, the only reason to go to an Outback Steakhouse is for the bloomin' onion and that dipping sauce. Everything else there is, you can get it probably
Now it's
better.
takeout only, so you just get like 3 bloomin' onions for your birthday or something.
Yep. Just feed the whole family on bloomin' onion. Some Gene steamed Rocky Mountain oysters. Balls.
That was a
Why would you put cow balls in jeans?
By the way, that's a great patron episode. Balls.
Balls, yeah. We've covered other part. Well, we did like the penis, didn't we?
Yeah. And the foreskin.
The foreskin, and then we did the vagina. The balls. Yeah, the balls need their own episode. Balls. Balls really are a strange fucking thing, man. They really are a strange organ on the human body, and it just goes to show you that, like, there ain't no fucking perfect design about the human body, dude. The balls are a total liability.
We need like ball tucks, like tummy tucks, but for balls.
The ball, like, we need to evolve so that our balls work more like ovaries and they're like up inside of us and stuff, but that ain't the way it works, man. They got to be out so they get that perfect, like, body temperature too hot for balls.
Well, maybe like if you don't want to have kids, you need a surgery to.
Dude, I just think that we need to, like, balls, I don't know, man. They're so weird. They're such a weird organ.
Only have one JT VJ.
Hey, that's fine. Pimmonk's got 3. Go figure that. He's got your ball. Go take it from him.
Your Paul's pubic lice, we just said it's a DFF.
What?
Balls.
Yeah.
It's already at DFF. It's on Patreon. Become a patron.
Yeah. Balls. My dad used to tell me I slurped mountain oysters before playing the skin flute in the Meat Whistle Orchestra. Wow, your dad was a real fucking knee slapper, bro.
That's a creative gay insult.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a very, it's pretty long, though.
Yeah.
You gotta commit to that one. Yeah, dude, your dad was a real fucking hoot. I bet he was popular at parties, that shit. What, the filter? I'm just gonna turn the filter off. I'm tired of people talking about the goddamn filter. I'll put one of these filters on, but nobody knows that I have a filter on. Like that, or like this, or like this. Which one of these looks good? What about glow? That's a little dingy. This one. We'll go with this filter. And then nobody will know I have a fucking filter. I'm not gonna 66 you. Don't worry about it, dude. You're just the latest in like a train of like 900 people that have talked about my filter. That I'm just tired of hearing about it. So now there's no filter, or is there? Dun, 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 dun.
No, we don't have our bubble machine out today.
Yeah.
No bubbles, so.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna bring out the bubble machine today, but we'll get it out one of these days. Get some bubbles in the stream. I'm not gonna whip out the bubble machine though. Would you ever do Broadway? Sure. I don't think I'm talented enough a singer to do Broadway, to be honest with you. But if I were,
Broadway in most major cities.
right? But I think he was talking about Broadway. You know, that's in the theater world, when you say on Broadway, it doesn't mean on Broadway in Minneapolis. You know what I mean? It means you're on Broadway. And to answer your question, would I do it if somebody approached me? Hell yes, I would do it, and I'd have a great time doing it. Do I think I would be the best choice? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe I could pull it off. If they were willing to help me whip this voice back into shape and kick this smoking habit and shit, I might be able to do a Broadway show, be like a supporting role.
For a Broadway show.
I've quit smoking for shows before. You kind of have to. Or not, maybe not quit fully, but like cut way back. No chain smoking, no bullshit. Have one every once in a while type of smoking. Because you kind of have to. You blow your fucking voice out. Where's the worst place you've ever eaten? Sorry about the food-related questions. You're hungry. The worst place I've ever eaten. There was a Chinese buffet that I went to with my mom when I was a kid. I was probably like 10 or 11 or something. And I just remember it was really gross. There were roaches on the buffet, like running around. Like you'd see one scurry up.
It was probably lukewarm.
It was just gross. I remember we left, so I don't even think we ate there, so it probably doesn't even count. I've eaten at some places that like okay, here's one. When I lived in San Antonio, there was a Jack in the Box nearby that I decided, oh, I'm gonna go to a Jack in the Box, and I went in there and it was slop, like inedible slop. There was a Burger King by where we lived in Louisiana that was the same fucking way. I got food from it there once, and I was just like, nope. So probably like the worst places I've ever eaten are really poorly run, really shitty standard franchise fast food places.
Worst you've ever eaten is chicken on the bone.
Oh yeah, that chicken on the bone. Ugh. Yeah, that just stuck with me, dude. That half raw chicken on the bone. Ruined it. Can't do it no more. Can't eat shit on the bone because of it. Killed it. Yeah, dude. That happened at that Jack in the Box in San Antonio, and I was hungry as fuck too. I was late at night, I was hungry, and I went out, stoned, was hunting some food. It's a Jack in the Box like a block away, and I went to it. I brought it home. I had 2 bites of the burger. The fries were just like soggy, cold shits, so I threw them away. But I was like, at least I can eat the burger. And the burger was just sloppy, floppy, lukewarm, nasty, soggy. And I just, after that first bite, I just threw that away too. And I was like, well, I hope that's enough to get me through till tomorrow, because I ain't going out again tonight. The same thing happened at that fucking Burger King. I was hungry as fuck. Got the Burger King, brought it home, opened it up, took 1 bite of the burger and was like, well, I can't eat that. How about the fries? And the fries were just like unseasoned and cold and greasy. And I was like, well, fuck this. I think I've done that with a Taco Bell too before. I think I got a Taco Bell order it was that Taco Bell that was over by us in fucking Louisiana. The one by TJ in Louisiana is dope. The one by us where we lived, got an order from there too. Took 1 bite of that soggy ass, watery ass fucking taco that had been sitting there for hours, and I was like, nope. Done. No I'm not that kind of guy. Like, some people are like, I'm gonna go chase my fucking $10. It's like, no. I'm just not gonna go to that place ever again. That's how I save my money.
What reviews are for?
I didn't even do that. I just, like, if I go to a place and I get served like that, I just never go to that fucking place ever again. Unless it's a place that I know has been quality in the past, I might give them another shot, because everybody has a shitty day. Like, they might have just had a bad crew on, or they're short-staffed or whatever. But, if it's a place that I'm going to for the first time, and my first experience is I literally couldn't consume their food, I'm not the type of guy that's going to go, this food is disgusting, blah, 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 blah. I'm just never going to go there again. That's how you that's how you deny them their money. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the most activist thing that you can do. That and leaving a review, probably. But I'm just not a review leaving kind of guy.
The best I had was a new manager special at Popeyes. A new manager had just come in, and she was trying extra hard, so.
Yeah, like, if I hear about a place doing that, like that Burger King over by us or whatever, if we had heard through the grapevine that, like, there was some new manager special thing, or if we'd seen it up on the fucking billboard thing, new manager, give us a try, please. I'd pull through that fucking place and see if they cleaned it up. I'd give it another shot, but 1 time is about all it takes for me and shit like that. Like, that's it for me. When I was a little kid in the early 2000s, fast food seemed like it tasted way better and it was hot. Well, here's the thing, dude. And this is just the truth. Standards in fast food have fallen the bigger it's gotten and the more people consume it.
And Starbucks, too.
Starbucks, too. I watched that happen. I watched Starbucks go from an actual craft company where I had to learn to be a barista. Now, I'm not claiming that that's some fucking, like, crazy skill nobody can learn, but it is a skill. You have to operate a piece of machinery that's mechanical. You have to know how to clean it. You have to know how to time a shot and tamp a shot perfectly. You do all this by hand. You can't do it if you're not trained. I watched it go from that kind of job to a job where people push a button to make an espresso shot.
Or just throw food in the microwave.
They throw
wrapped in plastic.
They throw food in a convection oven that comes to them wrapped in plastic, and it just melts it, and then they hand it to people. So, like, standards have fallen across the board in a lot of these restaurants. Like Burger King, when I was a kid, was the shit. It was the best burger. Their fries were dope, almost McDonald's level, but their burgers blew everything McDonald's had away. Their shakes were good. Their chicken tenders were good.
It was that chicken fries that fucked them up.
Yeah, they started that chicken fry shit. Well, I had, when I worked for the school district, I went to the same Burger King that I used to go to as a kid. And I pulled through there and I just got slop. And I was like, what the fuck? But I remembered it being so good that I just thought, it must have been an off day, you know. I went another time. It was the same shit. I was like, something has happened. It's just different shit. They're doing this differently.
Yeah, the worst Papa John's I got was at the first store in Indiana.
Yeah.
The very first location.
Yeah.
It went down the toilet.
Yep. Just the way it is, I guess. Well, I think I'm done. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.